Metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.
Yeah, man, things are good right now, man. Keeping busy, making a lot of fresh new artwork, laying
Dope.
down a lot of plans. We've been clearing the land out, and I did tell you we're getting a hemp license for the property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very
so
exciting.
yeah, we got all of that, all the property cleared the other weekend. Our LLC information just came back a couple days ago. So that's all going for, Golden Loop Farms is the official title. And that's all going on the application. So it can be funneled through the LLC rather than just us doing it personally. And yeah, man, we just been creeping along on that trail, doing everything, making sure we do everything right. Some tedious shit with government paperwork and all of that.
Yeah.
But behind all the bullshit, one thing that I noticed, which is super funny to me, is when they're explaining to you what it takes to get a hemp license, it's like it really makes it look like it's going to be almost impossible. And I think it's purposely to discourage people from getting a license. So I'm reading all of this stuff. It's like you have to supply your transport and contamination plans and all this kind of like all of this super duper shit that you got to do just to tell how you're going to transport the crop after you grow it. So I go deeper into the paperwork. It has a couple links like what does this mean? What is that? So I click on the link and it's like you have to give a clear example of how you're going to transport your CBD plants, and it must be in a covered vehicle. And I was like, wait, it must be in a covered vehicle, like a truck or a van, not a pickup truck. It has to be like in a van. I was like, okay, well, that's probably how I was going to do that shit anyway. I'm not just going to strap it on a flatbed trailer and drive that shit down the highway. And it's like the more you look into it, the more basic it is. It just really worded fancily and bureaucratically on
Yeah,
the
lawyer
front
talk.
end. Yeah, lawyer talk on the front end, but it's like just tell them you're going to put it in a box truck. Like, okay, why didn't you just say that at the front?
So we can't just put it in an unclean, uncovered dump truck?
Right?
No.
I
We can't
can't put it
just
in the trunk of my Subaru.
I can't smuggle it piece by piece in balloons shoved up all my friends' anuses.
I was
We
just
can't
going.
transport it that way.
I was just going to ride a bike down the highway with some handfuls of ganja stalks and shit. Like,
I was
come on,
gonna carry it in a rickshaw and just tow it
a
by hand.
rickshaw. But yeah, but that's the hustle right now, man. It's just trying to get all of that lined up on one side and staying focused on the artwork and all the other intellectual properties that we're developing right now. I've been kind of parsing out my consciousness to a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and so things are going well though, man. I like being busy.
Very
I,
nice, very nice.
I like having a lot of shit to do, man. The daily blog is popping. I've only missed like 2 or 3 days since I started it, and one of those days was deliberately. It was like New Year's Day or something like that. I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna chill. But the rest of them, I've been daily blogging for a little over a month now, just about every day. So
I
that
had
that's
no
cool.
idea.
Yeah, on the new site, the Sweet Co Art Collective site, I have a little daily, not nothing super major, but a couple sentences. I'm capturing some thoughts every day, and posting a little custom image with it and shit. So just a little thing, but it feels good to commit to something like that and then see it build up and manifest and shit. It's a great feeling.
I'll have to check that out. I had no idea this
Yeah,
whole time.
yeah, dude. I mean, like it just kind of popped up on me one day. I was looking at as a guy named Seth Rogen, and I'm pretty sure he had one of the first blogs on the internet. No, not
Wait,
Seth Rogen. That's the actor, right?
yes.
This
I
dude
was
is
like the
Seth.
pothead,
Yeah, not that pothead.
the
No.
pothead who wrote a comedy about drawing dicks incessantly and not being able to stop. That's Seth Rogen?
No, completely different Seth. Okay, let
Okay.
me get this name right here because I follow him on Twitter also.
I don't know. Let's
Is
just give credit to Seth Rogen. I think
you're
the
right, fuck
story's
it.
better if Seth
It's
Rogen did
Seth
it.
Rogen's vlog. Seth
Seth
Godin.
Rogen started blogging.
Seth Godin.
Oh,
Godin.
Godin.
Seth Godin. Okay.
Wait.
one of the earliest blogs on the internet. So from the 90s, he's been doing a daily blog ever since.
Wow.
And I was listening to him talk about it. And, when you find out about it in 2019, you're like, damn, he's been blogging that long. It's like, it almost makes you feel like it's no point in starting a daily blog because this guy's already got it. He's, what else? He's got it locked
Three
down already.
decades deep.
Right. You can't compete with that. And then he was like, sometimes I don't have a lot to say, and it's just like two or three sentences. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's not he's not pressuring himself to write paragraphs every day. It's just something. And I looked, I followed him on Twitter, and I started seeing a few of his dailies come up. And I was like, I can fucking do that. That's a cool little commitment I can make. So I just said, fuck it. I started blogging. And it's been going well. I've been impressing myself every now and then. Some good shit comes out.
Lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I've been all over Amazon. I think I was talking to you about this earlier. I've been all over
Yeah.
Amazon looking for shit. Like, what would I waste money on proudly and not feel bad about? Like, not one of those, you look at yourself in the mirror afterwards and it was like, you didn't even need that. I'm looking for shit that I would buy proudly and be happy with the amount of money I spent on it. And when I started looking for the Shaw Brothers stuff, I didn't see a lot. I didn't see a lot. I'm finding their movies and shit like that, but I feel like they slipping on their collector's edition game.
Mm-mm. They ain't trying to market it. They probably never paid any of those actors. They probably got everybody that ever participated is screwed out of the deal. There's no royalties. There's probably some defunct company that got bought up by like one of the government owned subsidiaries that's collecting everything on it, and there's no motivation to put it out. That's the downfall, right,
Right.
of global capitalism but local communism is there's no real incentive for anybody to try to make money over there by pushing out Shaw Brothers memorabilia.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not. I feel like they just let us have the movies, and then somewhere along the line somebody did some digital remastering. I don't, Blu-ray, whatever they're up to right now. I don't know, my dog's bugging, but whatever they're doing right now. But other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot of I haven't seen a whole lot of swag from them, which is
Nothing.
crazy. Crazy. One of the biggest, longest running movie production companies, some of the most recognizable shit from, I don't know, I guess from mid 70s up until the late 80s is probably the shit that most people know Shaw Brothers for. But they've been going since like the 50s or something like that.
Yeah, I remember like I think it was on USA. It was like 6 hour blocks over the weekend, just nonstop kung fuery.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my shit, bro. I could watch those movies all day, pretty much. I have to be in a certain mood, but when I get in that mood, I could watch them all day. They're just so classic, all the dopest shit. And of course, everybody knows like the famous Five Deadly Venoms and Kid with the Golden Arms and shit like that. But the catalog of dope shit is deep with them. I can't even front. They're like
You
they
know what we got to
hundreds
do?
hundreds of movies.
Yeah, I think they got like over 400 films or something, some stupid number. Um, China is known for stealing all of our shit and violating patents. I say we don't even make an offer to buy the Shaw Brothers brand. I say we just start prancing around like we already own it and just start putting out official Shaw Brothers memorabilia and merchandise. Because if it was an
Mhm.
American company, they would be peddling shit nonstop.
That's real.
Bobbleheads, plastic
That's
figurines,
real.
all kinds of shit.
They wouldn't give a fuck, bro. I mean, I'm sure you could go over there right now and find some unlicensed Avengers material being sold on the
All
streets and shit.
day, all day. Let me get that letter from their lawyers.
Right,
You better cease and desist. We own the rights to Sharp. Y'all made fake Nintendo Switches. Fuck off.
right.
Y'all gave Soldier Boy a whole side hustle by him peddling bootleg systems. Like all y'all do is make fake bootleg shit.
For real, dude. And now, and
How
it
dare
wouldn't
you?
be, it wouldn't be an action against the Shaw brothers themselves or their
Of
legacy,
course not.
but it would be against their government. It's just against their
Of
god. I
course.
like that idea.
We would show the utmost respect and regards, and if we could ever find anybody that actually creatively contributed to the legacy of those films, we would happily give them a chunk of the profits.
Right. Right. Definitely.
We would have to bring them to America first, because if we send it to them while they're in China, that all that shit's getting confiscated.
Yeah, true.
It's all going into the CCP coffers.
The only person I've seen from that era in any newer movies or anything like that is the
Gordon
one.
Liu.
Well, yeah, Gordon Liu, definitely. Gordon Liu's still around. And one of the five Deadly Venoms actors, dude named Lo Mang, who was he was also Golden Arms. He was the Toad in Five Deadly Venoms. He always played the strongest one. He was the buff one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've seen him in a few movies lately with Donnie Yen or something like that. He's been in a couple flicks. But that's probably the only one actually still around.
Hmm.
I mean, I know a lot of them died pretty young, some tragically, because I follow this shit, so I know a few. One of them died in a car accident. Well, I'm talking about mainly the five deadly venoms. I know one of them died in a car accident. One kind of drank himself to death from being sad and like losing his friends over the years and shit. He just died lonely in his own house, which is fucked up.
Ugh.
But like you said, Chinese government type shit. He probably should have been a superstar, but shit was crazy.
I heard they're fucking with Jackie Chan.
Really?
Yeah. I heard they
What do you do?
confiscated some of his assets.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. When I looked at some of his political shit that he does over there, it kind of turned me off of his character a little bit. Like of course, he's a dope dude. I love all his movies, but one thing in particular was, they have a death penalty for illicit drugs over there, death penalty, and Jackie Chan was like openly advocating. I guess it would be similar to say no to drugs kind of shit over here. It's not like he
Yeah.
was over there like, yo, kill people who do drugs, but he was
Purge
openly
them from among
advocating
us.
for the government policy of death penalty for illicit drug use. But his son got caught, and I don't know if he had them or if he was in proximity to people who had them, but he, of course, used his celebrity and everything else to get his son pulled out of that situation. But you don't think this was a good
In
time?
America or China?
Oh, in China.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
So he
Yeah.
was like, he kind of pulled his son out of it, but left everything out. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird for you to say the death penalty for drugs is dope, but then when
Kinda?
your son get caught with it, you're like, oh well, maybe he can come with me and his other friends can die, but that's kind of sucky.
No,
That's kind of
it's
sucky.
brazen, unapologetic, suck my dick level hypocrisy. Indefensible.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just,
No
it
matter
just
how many good movies you made, that
no.
sucks.
You just walked up to the table, you put your dick right on top of it, and said, "I'd like my son not to die, please. Can we just send him out? Don't do drugs." And and you see the same thing emerging over here. Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done. Your
Right.
boy Gavin Newsom, no mask,
Hmm.
$800 a plate brunch. It's
Yeah.
always when you think that you're within that elite class, the rules are for the peasants. I'm Jackie Chan. I dance around in movies for millions of dollars.
Right.
Don't kill my son for doing some excellent drugs. That's for other people. Other people should lose their children, not me. I'm too important.
Right. Come on. You can't
But
see that this is a time to change your opinion, not just
yeah,
a time to lobby to get your son out of it.
but why would you change your mind if you actually didn't suffer the penalty? If you were always, I mean, isn't it so easy to enforce the rules when you never have to actually suffer the
Oh
consequences?
yeah. Oh yeah. That's the easiest way. You could talk all kinds of shit from behind that wall when you don't got to deal with it. But for some reason, when them shoes switch, it's like, well, maybe this is a little harsh. Maybe this is a little harsh because I almost died out there. So this work is way too hard. But until you got to do it, you're just like, fuck them. What are they complaining about? Just do the work.
Yeah, it seems a little antiquated. I mean, the juice, they murdered people for picking up sticks on the wrong day. So I mean, some societies have very harsh penalties.
That's how you set the precedent right there. They running shit with that one. You pick up sticks, we gonna kill you. Just just on
On
this
a
particular
Saturday?
thing. Wait, is it Saturday, Sunday? Wait, I don't know. Well, just to be safe, don't pick up no sticks on
But
these
I thought it
Tuesdays.
was Sunday. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
you fucked
ignorance
up.
of the law is no excuse. I'm gonna
He's
need you to
picking
lay
up
down
sticks,
while we
yo.
drop these rocks on your face.
That's
Purge the
fucking
evil from
horrible.
among us.
It's horrible, but it's so true. And this is something that, of course, everybody's excuse is like, well, that was a long time ago. It's like, well, when was it ever okay to stone a motherfucker to death for picking up sticks? Not for killing nobody, not for, none of that. No, he was outside gathering twigs. This motherfucker gotta go. He's a scourge on our society.
Picking up twigs. I gotta take them off of here.
Yo, every time that shit's perfect. I gotta say, the sucker think he can whoop me. Yo, I love that
Yeah,
shit, bro.
they need to do the way
Ah,
that they did Hamilton. They need to do like a live action recreation of the Bible.
oh
That'd be
my
great.
god.
Like he was picking up sticks. He's picking up sticks, Moses. I gotta take
Gotta
him
take a
over here.
walk here. Oh, and just integrate mad like blaxploitation movies.
Absolutely.
The same way, yeah, just like that. Just integrate the Bible stories mixed with blaxploitation movies. So have like clear references from Shaft and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and
Yeah.
just every movie you could think of, every
Blackula,
blaxploitation movie,
the
the
spook that sat
Dolomite,
by the door. Yeah.
all of that.
All of
Oh my god,
that.
that shit is gangster, bro.
Have a whole trumpet section just in the back, in the same way that they did Hamilton with the hip hop, just 70s out.
Beautiful, yo. A 70s blaxploitation Bible. Yo, the blaxploitation Bible. That yo. Holy shit. I'm not my head. I'm running through all the, all the scenarios. Yo, you could cross-reference. Oh, just think about all the situations and stories you want to retell throughout the Bible and all the movies that have similar themes that you could draw a straight line from between.
Joseph,
That just
behold, I have not known a man, and I am with child. Bitch, are you for real?
Dolomite. That's Dolomite right there. Oh man, that's so good, yo. Dolomite would have to be a constant though. He have to be somebody who's in it for a long time. You have to
Truth.
use, yeah. He have to stick around for a while because he's too good. Holy shit.
I didn't grow up around them shits. I had people introduce them to me later on in life. I remember going to this girl's house, and her family had the human tornado.
Oh
And
my,
when they put it on, I was lost. I'm like, yo, this is for real. This is a real movie.
yeah,
They allowed this shit to be made in the 70s.
yeah. And that's like probably his worst movie too. But it's so classic. You have to
Tits
have. You
and
gotta love it.
violence.
You gotta have it. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it. That's my man, bro. Dolomite movies. I'm telling you, it's nothing else in the world like a Dolomite movie. I've never seen anything else like it. Like his sense of humor and the type of shit that he would. Even if you watch blaxploitation comedies,
Right.
action comedies from the same era, there's still nothing
It's
like.
not on the same level.
It's not, bro. Dolomite is 100% unique. Like I could say, I could probably show you 5 movies just like Superfly or just like Shaft. A
Right.
lot of them have the same themes, and there's a couple dope pimp movies, and like a lot of them kind of run together. You can have your favorites and everything, but they can get put in the same box. Dolomite is in a class by itself. Period. 100%. It's comedy. It's sexploitation. It's martial arts. It's supernatural devil shit.
Right.
It's all
It's
of it together, bro. Petey Wheatstraw. He got a movie called Petey Wheatstraw, the Devil's Son-in-Law, where this motherfucker in the first 5 minutes of the movie, his mother is have given birth on like a storm. It was a dark and stormy night. One of those motherfuckers giving birth. The lightning is striking, and there's a white doctor in there trying to give birth to the baby, and the bed's rocking and shit. And he, of course, before he pulls out a baby, he pulls out a watermelon. That's
uh
the first thing he pulls out is a watermelon. Second, he pulls out like an 11-year-old black kid with a diaper on. Just straight gangster. Like they don't give a fuck from the very beginning, bro. Yeah, it's Petey Wheatstraw.
sets the tone.
Right, that's the first 5 minutes of the movie. That's so you know what you're getting yourself into right now. This shit is absolutely absurd. He pulled him out and slapped him. He beat the doctor up, yo.
Oh, oh, they didn't
Then he,
even they
yeah,
didn't
then he
even have a
attacked his
build up.
father. Nah, he attacked his father. He said, "You the one that's been waking me up every night." He got busy, like right out the womb, bro. He got busy.
Oh,
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, Dolomite special, bro. I could definitely do a Dolomite marathon. That's another thing. I know how averse you are to watching full movies. I know you see you got a thing against movies and
I'm
shit,
a piece of shit. This is established.
cinema in general, but we got to figure out, even if it's during the podcast, to just do some screen share shit and start making commentaries on some specific movies. It's
Yeah,
just too much fun. It's
the
just too
Avengers
much fun.
things has to happen, and yeah, we should revisit the genius of Dolomite.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good place to start in Blaxploitation because it's so absurd. It sets such a wide tone for you that everything else can easily be fit into your consciousness if you start with Dolomite. Everything else is easy. You start there, everything else is easy. It all gets calmer from here. Start with
This
the
is
wildest shit you can find. This motherfucker, bro. Yeah. So Blaxploitation Bible that goes on the list
oh
of
yeah.
intellectual properties. I don't know how I don't know how Broadway's doing these days with the whole Rona biz, but I feel like that could go to Broadway. And if they don't want to let it on Broadway, they're racist.
People will pay for a Zoom show,
That's true. That's
pay per
true.
view.
That's true. We just make it in episodes on YouTube. Resume YouTube. It's got to be on YouTube Red though. You got to pay for this shit. This is good shit. It's got to be on the fancy YouTube. I don't even know if anybody has that. Who pays for YouTube?
I don't know. I know that they had Cobra Kai on there for a little bit, which I think got some people to sign up. But then I think that got turned over to Netflix, so it was very short lived.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't know if they have originals or what. I mean, I know that they have full movies on there now that they'll let you watch with ads on it. That's how I watched
Yeah.
that not Passenger 54, whatever it was called.
57?
That's yeah.
Wesley
Oh,
Snipes?
right, right. No, no, no. It was something with Edward Snowden. It
Oh,
was
okay.
like
Okay.
something 44 or something, not client or passenger or something. I don't remember, man. But it
He
was the
said, I thought you were talking about
Passenger 57. Always bet on black. They had that on there.
So wait, you watched a Wesley Snipes movie on YouTube for free? Yeah, all Wesley Snipes movies are free.
They had some ones on there. I think Lord of War was on there. That's a classic. They had
That's
that on
dope.
there for free.
That's dope. Lord of War. I remember that movie just because of the opening sequence.
Oh yeah,
That shit was
so gay.
absolutely amazing, bro. That's when the first time I saw that movie, I was watching it on Netflix. I think either one of them channels, Netflix or something. And I watched the whole opening sequence. And after it, stopped, I rewinded it and watched that shit again before I even saw the rest of the movie. I was like, that was crazy. That takes some effort right there. A single shot from a bullet's point of view. Amazing. But yeah,
Okay.
they do have a lot of shit on here on YouTube now, for free with the ads, of course, which is garbage. I take commercials personally as a personal disrespect. I really do. That's how I feel about ads.
You know what? I don't mind them at all, man.
Where
It's the way that I just feel empowered to be juvenile and contentious towards advertisers. I love getting emails so that I can mark them spam. I love it. Spam, spam. Every time the telemarketer calls, I waste their fucking time. I waste so much of their time. I just do it. And when it pops up and it's for like Hulu or something, man, I jerk off. I go somewhere. I do something that makes me happy. I go get a bowl of cereal or something. I know you're there. I'm not gonna watch you. You're
right?
trying to hold me hostage to this entertainment. I'm gonna completely ignore you. So they got their money. I got my entertainment, and nobody is in danger of buying your product. I feel
In
like it's
danger.
to win all around.
It is. It is. Hulu is white supremacy. first of all.
Absolutely. Which, by the way, I do have my spicy pumpkin, the only official beverage that is actively fighting white supremacy by putting the ingredients of color in the spotlight.
There it is.
Spicy pumpkin, only available through the Dangerous Gentleman gift shop.
Yeah, do it right. Don't be racist.
Don't
But
do it.
Hulu is definitely white supremacy because
Because
you
of
pay.
ads?
Yeah, you pay for the service and it still has ads. That's the only one that does that.
In their
The
defense,
the reason you pay is to not have like, is that not the reason you pay to not have ads?
I mean, wasn't that how cable was sold to us?
Exactly. That's been the
We'll,
whole
we'll
thing.
give you 8 channels for free, but now we'll give you 60 channels and you don't have to worry about advertising.
Exactly. That's always
Cable
been the
used to
deal.
not have commercials like they got now.
Well, I know some of the channels would have them, but like the movie channels, they play a whole movie and then maybe a second movie, and then in between they might show some trailers or some whatever.
They
But
would promote their own channel. That's it.
right, right, and tell you about what TV shows are coming on, but it'd be movies constantly, and it's always been the agreement that this is what we're paying for. The fact that we don't have to watch regular TV and see all the bullshit ads, and of
Right.
course more choices. Netflix. That's what we're paying for. Of course, we're paying for access to the movies, but also no ads. Hulu's like, yeah, I know you pay, but fuck you. I don't
But
understand that shit at all.
well, I would say there's a couple things. One, they can get away with it, and they
Right.
can charge a premium if you don't want it. So they get more access by saying, okay, if you're willing to sit through these shitty commercials, or go rub one out or get a bowl of cereal while they're on. Either way, as long as you let us torture you with these ads, we'll let you pay like $5 or $6 less a month. So it's just like those cell phone games where it's like, oh, you don't want these ads fucking up your experience every 5 seconds? Why don't you just spend the $3 to buy the app and not use the free version?
Mm.
So I see. And plus, most of the shit they have on there is more in tune with what's going on live TV.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
where Netflix gets like the reruns or the old stuff or syndicated stuff. I think Hulu's like a week behind of whatever is on TV. So they
All
look
right.
at it as like if you were watching TV, bitch, you'd be seeing these ads.
Right. That's
So
true.
we'll
That's
give
true.
it to you for $5.99. Just sit through these ads.
And Amazon Prime just gets all the Sharknado movies. That's what Amazon Prime gets.
Sharknado 4?
They get they get the Shaw Brothers kung fu flicks. They get old obscure movies that you forgot you saw, and they get everything that the Asylum ever made, and every company who wants to be Asylum. They got Sharknado, Clownnado. They got fucking,
Wow.
and then it's the mixed animals versus each other. So
Yo,
it'll be like Sharkdactyl versus Wolf Rex or some shit like that. So it's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a wolf head versus a shark with pterodactyl wings. It's like, yo, they don't even give a shit no more, bro.
dude, my pops used to love them shitty sci-fi movies. I came over to the house one time and he was watching like Sharktopus. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some giant shark with octopus tentacles
yeah,
just running up on land eating people.
yeah. Yeah,
And
we
and
saw.
and this is when CG was, I mean, maybe CG was good, but they definitely weren't paying for the top of the line CG. Like they got the entertainment house or whatever, the production company that had a couple people that were addicted to meth, some people working under the table. Like it was low budget CGI. Like this is awful. How was able to? But he was just entranced. You couldn't tell him it wasn't the best thing on television.
Yeah,
It's a
that's good
shark
shit
with
though.
octopus tentacles.
Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You can't be mad at it because you know they're not taking it seriously at all. Like you said, it's a shark with octopus tentacles. It comes on land and kills you. So if you get mad at that, it's your fault.
Yeah, I think they started at some point parodying themselves. Like I think Lifetime started doing it too. Like the sci-fi channels, like, okay, we know the kind of shit we make. We know it's not great. We know our niche product, and we're just gonna lean in. Like we're not gonna try to earn your critical acclaim and your accolades.
Right. The Asylum, you gotta love them, dude. They've been making crappy movies. At first, they started off with making the closest thing to a popular movie without getting sued. Like if Fast and Furious would come out and they would make like Quick and Angry or some shit like that. Whatever it was.
What is this now? The Asylum movies?
Yeah, it's the Asylum. It's a movie studio, and they specialized. That, like I said, the first few years, that's all they did was try to catch that runoff from people who wanted to see other movies.
Mm.
So they instead of Top Gun, they make Top Gunner. You know, instead of Transformers, they make Transmorphers.
Wow.
It's crazy. No matter what's happening, if Armageddon, Asteroidageddon, Jurassic Park,
Well,
Triassic Hunt. They
they're the
just
GoBots of the movie industry.
seriously, and they don't give a damn because they have a
Got 'em-
following, yeah, who just respects. Oh, they not okay. I said Quick and Angry. It's called Fast and Fierce. So Fast and Fierce. They don't
You
give
know
a
what?
damn, bro.
They weren't. You gave them credit for being way more clever.
Right?
Like, nah, we're gonna be a bit more on the nose.
No, Fast and Fierce. So that'll work. That'll
I'm
work.
surprised they didn't call it Fastly Furiously.
Dude, they got so many knockoff movies, and the original ones were low budget, horribly made. They didn't give a shit. They just did the closest thing they could to whatever was popular. But then eventually, people start liking them. They started really looking for the movies, and then they fucked around and made Sharknado, and Sharknado took off. They got Sharknado just blew up. I'm sure they had no idea it was going to pop off like that. Now they're up to five different Sharknado movies. They got five of them. They also have two-headed shark attack, five-headed shark attack. Like, so they don't give a damn, bro. And you gotta love it. You gotta love it. They got at least 200 movies under their belt because they're making them in like 11 days, probably. You know what I'm saying? They're making these movies quick as possible, but they're actually putting some effort into it now. And a lot of them, I'm pretty sure the bulk of them are on Amazon Prime right now. So to go from just making knockoff movies on purpose to actually having a deal with a major streaming service, that's a come up right there. They did their job.
That's why I don't know how anybody can't just be motivated and inspired. Like how could you feel defeated like there's no hope when somebody has $1 million in the bank for making shitty movies?
Right.
And you're not talking about like that's all that it's available, right? You got Michael Bay movies that are kind of shitty movies, but way higher production values, much bigger budget. And then if you want to get something, I don't know who the modern day, Stanley Kubrick is, that people are like, oh my gosh, this film is so important. But people are making those kind of movies too. And you can
Right.
exist in a country where all three of those kinds of films, pretentious shit that people will be snobby about, but that doesn't make any money, shit that way too many people like for dumb reasons, but costs a lot of money to make, but makes a lot of money, and shit that costs next to nothing, but finds at least enough people to like that shitty movie that they can become rich off of it.
I don't know, man. I don't
Eh,
understand how anybody couldn't look at that and see it. That this is where you can make
You could be the next
successfully.
dude that made Sharknado. That's how you
Absolutely.
need to wake up every morning thinking, I could make
Absolutely.
Sharknado.
Somebody made money off Sharknado. If you can successfully film a movie and get it on Amazon that's called Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies, what can't you do? Seriously, what can't you do? And people are taking it too seriously. It's like just make a crappy movie and see what happens. At this point, that's good advice. Just make a crappy movie on purpose and see where it takes you. I love it, dude.
I
At
mean,
least 200 movies, at least.
I mean, think about all the people that have made careers off of shit being purposely shitty.
Right.
I mean, that was like the goal of Adult Swim for like a whole decade.
That's
Like,
true.
we're gonna make this as shitty as possible. The more low budget, the better. Like, we're not even gonna animate any of the characters actually moving. It's basically gonna just be cardboard cutouts.
Right. Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Dude, no, barely any changes. And then you start watching, it's like, wait a minute. In a regular cartoon, they're moving around, there's different angles. Like, these dudes are always in the same position and they're just floating around. Like, This had to take like 10 minutes to animate.
Right. Right. And look what they did with it. They managed to find a cult
Oh,
following that's still
millionaires.
watching that shit today.
Millionaires. I've got all of the seasons on DVD. They stopped at
See?
like season 8. You can't get like the last 3 seasons on DVD. They're like, nah, it's not even. Just buy the digital copy. We're not even gonna bother.
Yeah. They'll probably come out with one later that includes all of them, but you can't buy the last three by themselves, so you got to buy all of them all over again,
That'd be
including the
smart.
last three seasons.
That'd be smart. I'd give them my money for that.
Right. Just because it's a clever play.
Well,
It's like, okay, you got me.
I found a website where they'll bootleg all of them that are available. And the dude is even so righteous as to get you like make you a custom case that looks legit. So
Wow.
it's like you're really getting the DVDs, like prints on the DVDs, or you can get the cheaper version and it'll just be regular clear DVDs, but it comes in a collector's case, handcrafted, you know.
A handcrafted entertainment center for you to play it in. You don't have no Master Shake figurines or nothing like that.
Oh,
The
see, no.
meatball plushies.
Again, if the Shaw Brothers were ever bought out by Adult Swim, that would all be there. Have you seen some of the stupid merchandising they had for that show?
No.
It's great.
Yeah. Of course it is. I mean, when you have people that'll watch a show with that kind of content and watch it as much as people did and love it as much as people did, you gotta sell them some crazy swag, bro. You have to.
Dude, it
They
was
need it.
great.
They need it. That they could have a whole fucking Comic Con for just Adult Swim.
Mr. Wong made a spaceship made completely out of dicks, and they didn't censor anything. It's a giant rocket ship completely made out of dicks. The
That's
dick
not
ship.
cool. That's not cool.
And he was going
That's
to go
not
to
cool.
space, and that's the plot of the episode. Mr. Wong is getting all of these dicks. And why is he getting all these dicks? Because he's making the dick ship so he can blast off to the moon. A spaceship completely made out of dicks. And those guys are millionaires.
Yeah.
Millionaires.
Yeah. There's people selling the pixel aliens, the Moonanites,
Oh, yeah.
on made out of plexiglass on Etsy for $20.
Oh, Etsy, that's where I would go to really just when I became completely irresponsible. World hunger has ended. There's no more slave labor manufacturing our products. When we live in that world, 90% of my income will be wasted on Etsy. They had a like a little Mario mushroom light for like $100. Some dude makes it himself. It's like a glowing, like a mushroom light that you put on your wall. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's dope. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that because I'm 10.
Yeah, they're definitely it's well, they used to be a lot more focused on handmade stuff, and you can still find it, I guess, pretty easily if you look hard enough. But a lot of it is just people from China selling shit for cheap on Etsy now. A lot
Is
of
it?
it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of that stuff is China manufactured. If you look at the shipping
Hmm.
times and stuff like that, it'll tell you. But most of this, a lot of stuff that's on there, you can find it on AliExpress. The same ads, the same pictures, the whole nine. Those companies on AliExpress are on
Yep,
Etsy
it's going
selling
through
their
them.
shit. Right.
Mm. Yeah,
Right.
all the stuff that I bought on there has been handmade. Like the dude will hit me back and let me know when he's gonna make it and when it'll be on its way.
Dope.
I've got some cool stuff off there. Plus, I don't know how to mod. Um, I got like a modded PS2 off of there with like a hard drive attached to it, so it's got like all the PlayStation 2 games.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I don't know because I've never tried to play it. I just had it for decorative purposes.
Right. Right.
But all the games I already own, so it's all backup, which
Nice.
is legal.
Nice. Yeah.
And I was looking because there was this game I played that I thought was really dope. That I was like, because there was a point where all my material possessions were either stolen or given away, and so I had to start from zero. So with certain things, I'm like, you know what? I'd like to reacquire that particular item. And there was a couple of times where I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I think I told you about one of them when I tried to get my Showbiz and AG Goodfellas CD back,
Mm.
and I had originally bought it for $12. and couldn't find it anywhere cheaper than $199.
Oh my
At which
God.
point I discovered LimeWire, and I waited till I got all of the songs and just burnt it on a CD myself. Like I'm not paying $200 for it. And this was the same thing. It was a game called Blood Will Tell, and it's about like this. I think it's based on a manga, like of this samurai. He's basically born, and like these 42 demons steal like 42 of his body parts. And so like this guy finds him and like kind of augments him with like all these bionic apparatuses to make up for the fact that he doesn't have it. So like he'll have an arm, and then all of a sudden the arm will retract and his arms just turn into swords. And he's
Mm,
just chopping people up. His kneecap will like shoot out a cannon. It's pretty dope. And then you fight like these like I guess these ancient demonic characters based on old Japanese art. So I was
right.
like, you know what? That game was really dope. And I know when I bought it originally, it was like $40. Nope. $700 brand new,
God.
$300 used, $200 used with no manual and scratches all over the disc. So I'm like, you know what? I could spend $200 for that game that I already had, or I could spend an extra $100 and have all the games. So
Wow.
fuck you, price gougers.
That's crazy. Like what even sets there? I guess maybe availability, but it's like what sets the value in your mind when you have a copy of this game or something? You're like, I want $700 for it. Like
People
what
will pay
makes
it.
you think, good Lord, bro?
People will pay it. I told you I found a $15,000 copy of Dragon Quest sealed in like a glass cube. And I found a couple of these like original limited editions. It's in the glass case. They're selling them online for thousands of dollars. Thousands for a fucking
Gosh.
game that when you if you bought it at the time was like 50 or $60. That's why I'm not getting rid of my shit no more, man.
Right,
I'm
because
like,
you
fuck
never
it.
know. You
Fuck it.
never know, dude.
I'm holding on to it because before I remember I sold all my shit. I gave a lot of my shit away, and I was like, yo, let me try to, recreate these games I had. And at one point, you could go online and you could get like the Final Fantasies for PlayStation 1 for like $20. Because they would
Mm.
still be in production. It's like the greatest hits copy, and you could buy the game brand new. Now, yo, $200, $300, and it's more like, oh, you got the green label. Nah, that's $100. You got the black label, the first edition. That one's gonna be way more. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. How much?
Mm.
How much is the bootleg again? Where can I just download it? I'm not paying you all. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple years ago, seeing a transformer that I had for sale for $2,000. And I was
Jesus.
like, oh, I had that one. That was the one. Like I remember, but that was back when the Transformers were like metal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these toys were metal. They were actually like, they were dope. It was like a white, some kind of spaceship, a airplane, a flying one. And I just remember playing with it and folding it up. Like I could totally feel it. And then when I saw it online one day, somebody was selling it for $2,000. I was like, holy shit. Nobody would have, well, not nobody. Obviously, some people thought about it. But as a kid playing with it, it's you don't ever think about something like that. Oh, this might be worth something one day. It's got to be an adult who knows about that kind of shit and sees the possible value of it. Because if it's a toy, a kid's not gonna think to just save that shit for later. You're gonna freaking crash it into other Transformers,
I don't
beat it
know. If
up.
if the kid does, it's a very boring child. Your
Yeah, he's a
child
weird kid.
your child has problems. He's
Yeah,
financially prudent. He's making sound decisions for his future.
still weird
He's
though.
not any fun.
Yeah, you buy your kid a toy and he's like, no, leave it in the box. It'll lose its value
Resale
if you
value,
open
daddy.
it. Like, okay, buddy. All right. It's kind of weird, but I
All
guess.
right, slugger. Daddy, can I take a look at the books again? I want to make sure your carried income tax was done correctly. Let's take a look at it.
Dude, 1985 Optimus Prime truck with the trailer, $12,000. Gosh, dude.
Dude, I
And
I, re- I remember them, and I remember when they transitioned from metal to plastic.
Yeah.
I remember I was into the Transformers, man. I had that one. I don't even remember his fucking name, but he didn't just turn into like one thing. He became like a whole base. He like
Oh,
transformed into a base with a tank that goes around the track.
was it Omega Supreme?
It might have been Omega Supreme.
I think that's what it sounds like.
It
Because
was
it had
ridiculous.
a track and it had like a rocket in the middle and shit. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
dude, Omega Supreme. Yeah, gangster shit. That's probably about 5 grand right now,
5 grand.
at
Given away for
least.
free. Sold for like 10 cents at a garage sale in
Right.
88.
And see, that's why this dude Gary V is steady on the garage sales, bro, because he finds shit that you can just market to a specific group of people, and he'll pay $1 for it, $5, and get on eBay or something like that and sell it for 40, 50, $60 sometime. And you never know. It's like I guess it's easier if you know what you're looking for, but you just never know because there's a market for damn near everything. Damn near everything. There's people no matter what franchise or what, network or movie studio you can think of in your head, there's somebody out there scouring the internet for every little piece of anything they can find from it. Sports shit, baseball cards. Baseball cards are popping again right now, like it's the freaking 90s, bro.
Yeah,
Baseball
there's
cards
an
are really
ebb and
popping.
flow. Nobody cares about them for a while, and then all of a sudden, people
Right.
are going nuts.
I didn't even think people were watching baseball anymore, let alone worried about baseball cards.
Yeah, nobody's watching any sports anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, people are still excited about football, it seems. At least
People
here.
are
Anyway.
people are excited to gamble on it. That's
Oh, okay.
that's about it. I don't think anybody really cares anymore, or it's nowhere near at the levels of what it was pre-COVID.
That's kind of backwards. Ain't it? You figure people will be consuming more sports now.
You'd think,
Yeah, but they just don't
think.
give a shit no more. Or they found better shit to interest themselves.
I think half the people gave up on it when it became like overly political, and I think a lot of people just found better shit to do. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then there's people that are hardcore that are going to watch it no matter what. But I think the last NBA finals, I think the total viewership was down like something like 60%, something like ridiculously stupid when everybody's at home with nothing to do.
Yeah.
You would think that would boost the amount of people that were watching. People like, "Nah, go fuck yourself. I'm good."
It's really weird, huh? That's crazy. Well, fuck
I,
it. I never really been into it anyway. It's kind of always escaped me. The whole, it's just a tribalistic, vicarious living situation.
for
Yeah,
sure.
you just want to pretend to be the guy who's smashing into the other guys.
And it's a little homoerotic for my taste.
A
It's
little.
it's men knowing way too much about other men. Like I got it when I was a kid. Like I knew how many triple doubles Magic Johnson got. He holds the record in triple doubles. He's amazing. And then you become an adult. Like, okay, I want to be great. I don't care that some other guy is great. I don't
Right.
care. If I'm gonna
Right.
watch sports, it's gonna be women's college volleyball. I'll watch some women's college volleyball. I'll
Well,
do that.
that's
Or
that's a
women's
little
pole
that's an
vaulting.
ulterior motive there. I gotta
No,
say that sounds like there might be an
no,
ulterior
they're
motive there.
they're very talented. They're very healthy,
Mm.
talented women.
Healthy.
Uh, the pole vault, the women's pole vaulting, there was some chick from Spain. I'm like, okay, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. These are the outfits, and you have this giant 12-foot phallus you're gonna run around with and leap into the air. Okay, I'm in.
This is starting to sound a little problematic.
Sorry,
Well, I mean,
I
I guess
apologize.
if you're gonna raise the viewership, should it really matter what the reasons are? I mean, if you're watching, right?
It shouldn't. I mean, there's no. You're talking about a bunch of Goliath men showing off their arms and their tats. There's no women that are just watching it because they think the ball players are sexy. Women are just
Hmm.
really into sports, not even a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know. See, I couldn't even speculate on that. It seems like the ones who are really about their game, though, those are the women who actually go to the games.
Yeah, and they know backwards and forwards.
Yeah, they out there fishing. They trying to get it for real. But just to be watching it from home, like I don't know if I don't know. I don't think women are
Candles
doing too
lit.
much of that. Yeah.
Well, women
Yeah.
women aren't as horny and as pathetic as us, so good for them.
Well, I don't know, man. What that the sports thing, maybe not that much because it's only just a visual thing. So that seems like it would feed more into a dude's consciousness. But I'm sure there's somewhere it's happening that we may not be aware of.
I just don't care. I just don't care. I can't bring myself to care. Everybody's into something, so it's not
Yeah.
like I would ridicule somebody into it. But it's a bunch of dudes bending over in front of each other, wearing tight pants, all kind of hunched over, jumping around, jumping on top of each other in big sweaty man mass piles. And it's I don't know. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
seems it just seems like
It's a lot.
if gay men were in charge of the world and they're like, okay, so what do you think the game should be like? Well, first of all, everybody's got to shower together afterwards. Okay, given. That's a given. Okay.
And
So
before.
and before just make sure you're clean before you start. We're going to shower afterwards. Get in there. I'm the coach. I said so. And scrub up slowly. And so we're all going to shower together. Then we're going to get together and we're basically we're gonna have these really what is it like what are those things that women wear and they'll be in like where people that are in plays. I don't know what it's called. The skin tight things.
Oh, like the
Is it a
leotards?
leotard?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, is that not what footballs are? I mean, it's the stretchiest material. It's form
Yeah,
fitting.
it is. It is a
It's
lot.
form fitting, and why couldn't they line up standing up? Couldn't they all stand in front of each other and just kind of no, we're gonna bend over with our asses way up in the air, and I'm gonna stand behind you, and then I'm gonna put my hands under your crotch to take the ball from you. And when I throw this to you, you're gonna catch it, and then all the other men are gonna run and try to jump on top of you. And sometimes there'll be piles. There'll just be piles of sweaty men with skin tight pants on. And when you do a good job, I'm gonna touch your butt a little bit. I'm gonna tell you that you did a good job. I'm gonna patriarchy you, and we're gonna line up and do it all over again. And then we get to shower. We're always gonna be hanging around each other. We're just hanging out, just
Yeah.
hanging out in the shower.
So you're
I don't
saying you
know.
wouldn't even have to change much if if gay guys came up with the whole concept, you wouldn't really have to change the game that much.
Um I think if they designed the whole thing, it wouldn't look any different.
Right.
The only thing I can imagine that would potentially be different is that it would be kind of like flag football except with dildos. And you don't snatch their flag. They're only actually down, not just when you tackle them, but there has to be penetration. Once
Oh
there's
no.
once there's penetration, that counts as a down.
Now you're
That counts
down.
as a down.
Now you're down. And so the only way to
With a dildo, not with their genitals. I mean, it's a game. It's
well,
not
maybe
sexual.
that might be how it starts. But but eventually we're gonna be like, these things are bulky, they're hard to carry. They'll just have one designated guy on the team. He's like, I like how how they got all the different positions. They got the kicker, all of that shit. You just have
Yeah.
one guy on the team who's Viagra'd out the whole game.
Tackling everybody in this bitch.
So the rest of the team can tackle you. They gotta hold you till he gets there.
Yeah, it's a down, B. It's a down.
The downer's coming. So you could just take the knee. You should just take the knee before he gets over here. I'm gonna take the knee. The play's over. Keep that guy away from me.
I mean, if it's a display of physical dominance, why relegate it to a metaphor?
Right.
Let's really just show dominance.
Right. Well, that's how
Dominate
it
on the
started.
field.
That's how all this shit started in Greece. Fucking Roman Greco wrestling and all of that. That shit wasn't just wrestling, B. I'm
Very
sorry to tell these guys. Sorry to tell them. But there's whole I've seen. This was back in I don't know early 2000s where people are breaking down this history of the Greece and all of their exploits and shit. These guys was wrestling each other doing a lot of little extracurricular activities. They
Sometimes
they were tough guys, but at the same time, I mean, it's Greece.
they
That was
they
just the
needed
order of the day.
relief.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to wrestle and you need your friend to help give you a little relief.
Right. Yeah. Well, then you lose, though. That's how you lose.
Listen, I'll
If
never forget, and I know I told you this before, but a friend of mine is a bookworm. He called me, and I don't remember it, but he said that there was a specific term in Greece for when you would dominate a man, but instead of penetrating him, you would just rub your genitals between his legs, and that was a show of respect. That you didn't penetrate him, you just rubbed in between his legs.
But I could have. Just so
There's a
you know.
term for that.
Just so you know.
That's a thing. And so all of your
Could have
sports, no
got
matter what they are now, whatever macho connotation you want to thrust upon it now, um, that's the origin point.
you. Right. That's where your posturing comes from.
Angry, seductive wrestling.
And that's actually where it's going to. Because eventually
if I
we know
get
what's
if
behind
I'm the
all
new
this.
commissioner for the NFL, we're gonna take off the stretchy pants.
Hear
We're
me
gonna
out.
convert it to flag football, but instead of flags, there'll be dildos. And you don't rip the dildo off the person you catch it. You got to penetrate them with it, and then that's a down. It's great.
Wow. What a way to lose points in a game. This may be the ultimate way to lose points.
But you know what? I think that's a good thing for society. Is just everything's kind of veiled and kind of subtle. I think the best way to really kind of let people know, it's okay that you're into this, but this is what it is. It is just, I don't, but maybe people couldn't handle it. But I think that would be the greatest troll is just to take everything that people love and take the subtlety away from it and just make it a lot more aggressive. Okay,
Right.
you want your man on man dominance? No problem. It's too subtle with football. They're just tackling each other. Let's make it a little more real. Let's make it a little more authentic. Let's let's introduce penetration.
Let's keep it real. This is where it was always going.
This is this
Let's
is
just
what it
cut to the
was.
chase. Let's just cut to the chase.
And then and then are you really gonna he ran he only got 4 penetrations last season. You
Oh,
know, he's very successful.
oh man. We gotta change some of the position names though. Some of this ain't gonna work right. It's gonna be too much.
Oh no, it's already perfect. A full back, a tight end, a wide receiver. It was already, I mean, the game
Right.
has been waiting for this innovation.
Or slowly trying to integrate it into society. Maybe this is what they had in mind all along.
Somebody was like, somebody showed up in a feathered boa and gave the pitch, and then other people there were like, "All right, okay, I like a lot of these ideas. I'm
What?
not saying they're not good. I think we can make it a family friendly game. I think
Like
we can make a couple. You can. I want it to be called the wide receiver. We're not going to change the names.
keep the
We're
names.
we're just going to change a couple of the fundamental rules involving how a down is counted. That's all.
How about if he just falls? The player like, no, man, I wanted this to be a after dark Cinemax sport. Football is on Cinemax at 2 a.m.
uh,
It's like freaking Caligula with a ball. It's just Caligula with teams.
oh wow! And I already got the uniform in mind. It's kind of like one of them dominatrix strappy ensembles, right? So it's covering up the genitals, but the whole butt is exposed, right?
Right,
And
like
it's
the
just a
chaps.
few straps, yep, few straps around the thighs, chap styled butt crack revelation, and then like some joints that looks kind of like some suspenders to kind of hold it all together, and you can have like bright pink or lime green, so you could definitely, even with minimum coverage, you could still tell who's on whose team, with minimal uniforms.
Right.
You just make brightly colored, strap ensembles for each team.
You got to watch out for that cornerback. He's the defensive downer. You got to watch that guy. He's quick and he's squirrely.
Oh,
Oh, dude, it's so bad that it feels like you could blend where we are now, football, directly into that. It would only take about 10 years.
yeah, less than a generation.
By
You could,
2030, football could be an entirely different game.
and nobody would notice. And
Nobody
people
would
that are all
notice.
homophobic would be like, "Man, you're ruining football. That's super gay." It's like, is it that much gayer though? Is it that
Because it
much
would be
gayer?
such a smooth gradient over 10 years. The people, you'd have to the older guys will be like, this football's getting flimsy. It wasn't like this when I was young. But the people who were into it, the younger guys watching it, wouldn't even notice. Every generation it would happen like that. It's like with nudity or something in movies. It's like the people who are like right in the middle of the culture, the spirit of the age, it's just regular for them. But your
Right,
parents like, oh my God, you can see her knees. You
right.
know
They
what I'm
could say
saying?
shit on TV now.
Right,
Damn.
right. They react totally different. I guarantee 10 years, you could turn football into Caligula ball.
Listen,
And
I got the perfect rationale behind it too. It's how we're gonna cut down on CTE. You take all the
mm,
outrage for CTE and say, listen, just running and hitting each other as hard as possible. So they've already talked about this. Like, let's transition them back to the leather helmets. The problem is they have way too much protection, so they tend to go ham, right? So if we take away the helmets, we take away the shoulder pads and all the equipment that's protecting them, people aren't going to be able to use their body to weaponize their body as much as they have been. And people have pointed out rugby. Rugby, they're getting rough with each other. They don't have the equipment and they're not getting, the type of injuries that you're seeing from football. So that's the first thing, right? And then, I don't know, from there, you're like, yeah, but they're still wearing clothes and people are getting rug burns when they're at the bottom of the dog pile. It's not as
oh,
bad as CTE, but we still need to make changes. And they're like, all right, no problem. Let's go ahead and go to these strap these strappy ensembles.
oh
And
my
then from there,
gosh.
it's just another slight pivot. We're like, yeah, but we're still running into each other in full speed. People are still getting hit. And like, okay, I got it.
And toxic masculinity, don't forget that.
Toxic
These
masculinity.
guys are
People.
beating their wives. They're
Yep.
freaking drunk
Ah.
driving. We gotta find a way to wheel this
So,
back a little bit. There's too much testosterone in
and
football. What
what
do we do?
what better way to commiserate and identify with a woman than to be penetrated? Would you be able to really hit your wife in an elevator if you knew
Right.
what it was like to be your wife just for one down,
Your
just
wife.
for one moment? You couldn't you couldn't identify with her at that point. Would you knock her the fuck out in
Oh,
an elevator if you
no,
just
I
had
think
some
not.
man that was twice your size and there was nothing you could do about it and it was third down and you knew it was third down because you felt that little rubbery knob ever so slightly pierce the crevasse?
Horrible. It's horrible. But
But
I
it's
feel
better
like
than a
this would.
tackle. You're not getting your neck broke. Nobody's getting paralyzed. Nobody's dying in a prison of their own body, not able to move or talk, and to have everything shut down. I mean, it's a lot safer. You want to be
Right.
a vegetable for the last 5 or 6 years of your life, or you just want to, identify with women a little bit.
Right. He's
Just a
been
little
a
bit.
different man ever since he got sacked that last game. He's been a totally different
Oh,
guy.
come on. It's called sacked. All the verbiage isn't already there.
So you don't even got to change nothing. I'm starting to feel like this was part of the inception.
Listen.
'Cause you don't get to attach all of this stuff retroactively and it still work. It don't work like that. That's not
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
But you know the Illuminati are always playing the long game. It's
Yeah.
always the long game. They're always thinking a couple hundred, couple thousand years into the future.
So basically, sports, even though they're disguised as the manly high test activities for people to take part in, they're actually designed to feminize the population over time.
Yep.
I
Yep.
totally accept that premise. And from now on, that is the information that I'm going to disseminate.
Bill Valentine would be proud.
Oh, he absolutely would. He absolutely would. And don't get
Gentlemen,
me
I give you
started
the
on
torch.
football. Don't even get me started on football. Oh yeah, football, baseball, all of it, basketball, everything, everything. That's what it's there for.
But I don't think you can make them more like I'm trying to think of the other sports. There's really, I mean, football is the quintessential sport of manliness. It's by far what's associated with the most manliest of sports.
Yeah.
Try to make the other sports as gay as what we've just done with football. You can't. Lining up bent in front of each other, having to jump on top of each other, all the names, of the different positions, the positions.
Yeah, it's just the fact that there's positions. Like every
Why
play
can't it
ends
be
in
a
a
role?
pylon.
We're not calling it Mortimer. It's not going to be called a role. It's
No.
going to be called a position. We have to pre-program them so that they will accept they will accept the cornerstone of the gayness of the sport when the time is right.
We're gonna need
Only
two
when we
tight ends
prep
and
them.
a fullback. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I feel like we just discovered the truth about football. We could make a documentary about it and put it on YouTube, and nobody could even debunk it.
That's one of those conspiracy theories where if you wouldn't know. Like is this from 4chan? Is this from Reddit? Is this legitimate? Because it kind of makes sense.
It's about to
It's
go on
kind
Reddit.
of absurd. It's kind of absurd, but I could kind of see it possibly being true.
Yeah, I've already completely accepted it. I've already completely accepted it. This is the man most responsible for the transition of this rugby-like game to the sport of football we know today was Walter Camp.
Walter Camp.
Camp. Even I mean, come on. This stuff writes itself. Like some
Etymology. It's
like
etymology time.
like summer camp? You mean like Boy Scouts camp you talking about? What kind of camp you talking about here? Yeah. Yeah, we just football's been decoded.
I'm
We just
looking up
decoded
where the
football.
word Walter comes from. I have to know. What does Walter really mean?
Oh, Camp 1520 is a place where an army lodges temporarily.
Like just for a down?
Yeah, just for one down. We'll all lodge here for one down. Yeah, I like it. Open space for military exercise. I don't even need to see
Oh,
anymore.
you know, it means warrior forest or power forest.
Oh, Power Forest. Power Forest is a place where army lodges temporarily. Yep.
This
Yep.
warrior needs a place to lodge for a down.
All 300 of them.
Is a German masculine given name derived from Old High German, Walthari, composed of the elements Walt, Proto-Germanic wald, meaning power or forest, and Hari, Proto-Germanic warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, for Forest Warrior, him and his buddies need a place to stay for the night. And then you get football.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's too easy. I told you, the simulation is always like, come on, pull on this string.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
and it explains how all the Illuminati plans come into fruition just so. But how would they do it? Why would they be on it? And who cares if they're not going to see the fruits of it? Why would they be planning for thousands of years? Because the simulation told them so. The simulation said, if you create it, we can make it gay in 100 years. Just do it. And they obeyed. They obeyed the compulsion of the simulation. And again, in a time where people are going out of their way to show how not homophobic they are, prove it. Prove it. If all of a sudden you're not interested in watching football anymore, then I think maybe you're a bigot.
Yeah, I think you've shown us who you really are.
Yeah.
I think you've shown us who you really are. This was always your problem, is that you didn't want to accept the truth of what this was. I think you're only avoiding it because deep down inside you know already
Like
what
it.
it was. Yeah, you love it.
You liked it and you didn't want other people to know what you like.
And now that it's out in the open, you reject
Yeah.
it because you're not ready to accept. I see, yeah.
You like the sweaty frolicking. You've always liked it.
You always loved it. You always loved it. You call all your other friends over and cheer for it.
Let's sit next to each other on this love seat and watch these sweaty men
And the most
pounce on each
annoying
other.
thing that you can experience while these games are happening
Oh yeah,
is
say
a
it.
woman.
Yep. Get out in front of the TV. I want to see the men. Beat it.
You're blocking the men.
What just
Oh,
happened? What did the men do? You made me miss it, Doris. I want to see what the men are doing.
I missed one of the pileups. Those are rare.
Did the
Oh,
men
goodness.
penetrate into the other men's territory? Did they plow their land? Did they make it in? Did they invade their field?
Oh, this is gonna piss some people off. This is gonna trigger somebody.
Yeah, that's okay.
Somebody's getting triggered
Listen,
from this.
hey, it's Super Bowl. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Enjoy it.
Wow.
The
The
Super
Bucks. Gotta love the Bucks.
The Bucks. And yeah, there were no gay pirates.
Oh, not a single one.
They loved women. They didn't
That's why
have
they
any
didn't.
on the boat for
That's why
months.
they didn't have none of the vote because they loved them so much.
Right. They loved them so much. It's like you can't come on this boat with all of us. And
No.
we're gonna braid each other's hair and wear eye makeup.
Yeah, who was doing all the hair braiding?
That
Who was
was
doing
post
all the hair?
touchdown. Let me let
Oh,
let me do it down real quick and I'll braid your hair.
that's the deck swabber. You know, whoever's the lowest on the totem pole does the braiding and the cooking, right? You cook and braid everybody's hair. You can come with us.
Uh,
Wow, dude. Yeah, this has been a hell of a realization. I knew it was weird. I knew it was always weird. It seemed very strange to me that people would gather up together in large numbers and get so excited about something so trivial. You know, it's not even. You know, of course, there's some skill involved. You got to be pretty strong. You got to have a good arm throw and shit, and know the plays. You know, it's a smart game, cool. But yeah, it is a lot of guys in tights
we're not
running
invading
each other.
people's village and murdering and raping. We're not that it's not available to us anymore. But the desire is in us and we need an outlet. So we need some form of murderous raping. We need something close to it. And football fills that void. It's why it's the most popular sport because it is the most masculine. It is the most violent, rapey sport on the market. It's untouchable.
And UFC is not far behind. They're gonna have to follow suit too.
Yeah, some of them they got some skimpy draws on, but some of them got weight pants are way too big, way too big.
Yeah, you ever watch those? Watch them reality shows they have with the UFC fighters, and you'll see everything you need to know. You know,
Yeah,
them dudes be bugging out. They're so charged up, so high testosterone. They be crying when they can't fight. I guess it's this meme that's been going around not too long ago, but it's one of the guys on the show, and I guess he had fought, and then maybe the day before, and somebody else has to fight the next day, but he wanted to fight again. And he was like destroying shit in the room because it wasn't his turn to fight. And when everybody gathered around him to calm him down, all the dudes, you know, they're like, yo, chill, bro, chill. And he was crying, just repeating over and over, let me bang, bro. Let me
let me
bang,
bang.
bro. Just let me bang. He's like, I did let you bang, bro. Come on. Yo, it's the most ridiculous shit. He's crying because they won't let him fight.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some misplaced puzzle pieces in that equation.
Just let him bang, bro.
That's all he. That's obviously
Let him
all it was.
bang.
He said, "I did let you bang, bro." It's just hilarious to see a room full of buff ass fighter dudes trying to stop one guy from crying while he's repeating, "Let me bang."
And someone really replied back to him.
I
The
did
the
let you bang.
I did let you bang.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he said it like
I gotta find that footage.
bro. He
That's
said
great.
it like it was compassionate. I did let you bang, bro. Come on, man. Like you just banged yesterday, man. Chill out. Yo, it's the
Amazing.
funniest shit you'll ever see. He's got like a red mohawk. Let me bang, bro. It's weird, man. It's some really weird shit. I'm gonna have to. I gotta send you this. I gotta send you this clip, bro.
Yeah, and and I'm not mad at it, man. I'm not mad at it. I do think there's a lot of there's some positive traits about masculinity, but there's a lot of dumb shit about masculinity that we celebrate. And if making a lot of this shit just a little gayer makes people kind of rethink it just a little bit, or it disturbs them just a little bit, I'm for it. I'm for it.
Yeah, because it might have a important effect on the greater society. Because what are these guys doing when they're not trying to bang, bro? You know what I mean? What they're doing in their regular lives. They're probably traumatizing people. You remember the one guy, War Machine? You remember that dude, War Machine, who was
What was he doing?
he was dating what he was terrorizing people all over the place, getting in road rage shit, fighting in bars, and it was all fun and games because he was a fighter and he had a little reputation, and people let you get away with shit when you got a little bit of money, you can handle your business. But then he started dating this porn star and he almost killed her. Like he pretty much he almost beat her to death. That's what he's in jail for right now.
War Machine?
Yeah, the dude
I have
on
no
he, well,
idea who
he
he is. When you said War Machine, I'm thinking about the dude that was with Iron Man.
oh yeah, well he called him. I'm surprised they didn't stop him, like give him a cease and desist. But yeah, he called himself
He
War
was a
Machine.
UFC dude?
Yeah,
Okay.
professionally. But and I'm pretty sure that's how they like announced him and everything. They obviously let him use the name, but I think his name's John Copenhaver,
Mm-mm.
and he was dating a porn star named Christie Mack, and he fucking destroyed her, bro. Unbelievable.
He
Some
beat her up?
oh bad, real bad. There's a documentary about it on Netflix. Well, yeah, yeah, like a UFC fight, bro, like a no rules fight.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think he's serving life right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 36 years.
What did he get? Like attempted murder because of how bad the beating was?
Let me see, convicted on 29 felony accounts. So whatever it was,
Wow.
29 felonies. They gave him
Yeah, they
life.
threw the book at his ass.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
have you seen the footage of the track star, the female track star?
No, what happened?
Okay. So it's been making its rounds, and I guess people were pissed off about it because it's, no offense to anybody. I don't mean it in an offensive way, but I mean, it's a guy, right? But he identifies as a woman, but he's so much bigger and so much faster. Like there's this hurdle race, and he's just hilariously blowing them out of the water. Like it's not even close. And my thing is, at this point, like you just need to let men. There's you can't make any more sexual distinctions, and it's gonna suck for women because I don't think women will win sports ever again. It
Right.
just all needs to be co-ed. You stop splitting the categories by gender.
Well,
It
that
doesn't
still
matter.
means they're never going to win again.
Well, that's the point. So just you might as well do that. And if anything, it's like, well, you made, it's like you made sports. You've gotten women out of sports, but if we're not making distinctions between men and women anymore, then there's no point in even having two separate things. And men are going to dominate sports. So yeah, it's not your thing.
Yeah,
Find something else to do. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but all the ones I've seen over the years, because it's been popular past 4 years or something like that. But everyone I saw, to me, they look like they're trolling. Every one of them looks like they're trolling. I haven't seen one yet that's just like, oh, this is
Did
just
did you
person.
see this dude with the dreads leaping over the hurdles?
Oh wait, I don't with the it was like braids. Was it like
Yeah.
in what was it, Atlanta?
I don't know where it was, but I mean, it's not even close. He smoked them. And
Of course.
he's leaping like 3 or 4 feet, like almost two hurdles at a time. He's massive relative to the rest of them. He's massive,
He's like, look, I was getting my ass kicked by the boys, so I'm gonna come over here and kick some of y'all's asses.
dude.
It's horrible, but this is where we're at right now. It just
And
is
and
what
I'm
it
fine
is.
with it.
Yeah,
But
it's
but
gonna
but
have to go. It's gonna have to go all the way because I think the people who were arguing against patriarchy and those ideas of splitting women and men's sports and the sexism and all of that stuff. The people who were combating all of that, they're to blame for this because they're the ones putting pressure on sports systems and the groups that run everything
Right.
to accept people who
To be
identifies with
inclusive and not be
right.
hateful, right? And it's
And they
not
put
even
it in the
about that.
same batch as this homophobia, transphobia. You're not compassionate, and it's patriarchy. They're not just saying, well, there's difference between men and women and it's not fair. They want to tie it into a compassionate argument, which is like, all right, if this is where you want to go, let's see where it goes.
So
And
so and so what I'm saying is to bring it back to the Christie Mack thing. If we're in that world, then is Christie Mack really a victim, or is she should have trained harder?
well, she wasn't a
Because
fighter though. She was
no,
she
it's
wasn't
just
a
we're
UFC
not going
fighter.
by identities. We're not going by gender. We're not going by professions. These are just two people, two human beings,
Right.
and one human being attacked another human being, and that human being wasn't as strong.
Right. So
And
that's interesting.
I
That's
could
interesting.
venture to say maybe she should have trained harder.
If you that sucks, but if he would have went into a bar and picked a guy who weighed the same amount as she did and pounded him out the same way, would they have given him life?
Nope.
Probably not. That's true. That's
And
true.
that's why we have to take it into consideration, your size, your ability, your hormones. It's not to be mean. It's not to take away from people their dignity as living the life as they choose and identifying the way that they do. You can absolutely have that freedom. But when you see a dude leaping over hurdles just like Superman, and these chicks have no chance, and Christy Mack isn't slipping the jab, and
Oh,
she's just not putting on a good show. Okay, 29 felonies worth of ass whippings. You know, maybe she doesn't belong in the ring. That's
she's
just not.
not slipping the jab.
She's different. She's just not
Oh,
as she's not as capable, and there's a natural component that 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 comes into play that makes it so. And there's no sense in denying its existence for the sake of not hurting other people's feelings, because we can do both. We can protect people and maintain categories based upon uh, verifiable science, and also treat people with respect, and not dead name them or disparage them. People are gonna make fun of you, but people make fun of everybody. I mean, that's not like, I mean, if you've ever talked to somebody who's like handicapped and shit, if you continue to like harp on the fact that they're handicapped and you don't make fun of them like you'd make fun of anybody else, at some point, they start to get insulted. Like, are you like patronizing me? Like, come on, man.
wow.
So if you want to be truly a part of society and truly treated just like everybody else, people are going to make fun of you. That's the price of admission for being in society. There's nothing we can do to make sure everybody is not mean. People are going to say mean things because some people are dicks. And some people, the majority of people I'd say, are going to be polite, welcoming, and warm. But we can't upend our scientific understanding because a few people are mean. Because you get ridiculous shit and contradictory shit, like a dude with dreads leaping over hurdles and smoking the entire rest of the race by like 10 seconds when it's all said and done, and like the 40-meter dash hurdles, just waiting at the finish line smoking a cigarette while the rest of them are trying to get caught up. And in that world where we let that person race against those women, even though he's a she's a biologically born with male equipment, male bone structure, testosterone, muscles are different. All of those
Right.
things
Which
are
is
just a part of
objective
the equipment
facts.
they
That's
receive.
just not even a
Right.
debate. That's just
And
what it is.
and whatever she wants me to call her as her name, absolutely, I'm happy to do that. But based on that science, we can't throw that out the window and say we got to put War Machine in prison forever because one human being hit another human being and they couldn't slip the jab.
You know,
But it,
those two things definitely don't add up. So
no
she
Philly
was
shell,
when
no counterpunch, weak knees, brittle bird bones.
yeah, her weave
It's
game
his
sucks.
fault. She's got no hands.
His weave
Why
game
is it
is
his fault?
terrible. There was a dude. After they broke up. So this says that there was a dude with her. So he came in the house where they were and beat the dude up first. And
Oh,
he
that
told
was
the
your chance
dude,
to escape.
"I'm gonna let you go, but you better not call the police." And the dude promised not to call the police, but then he left and called the police. So after the dude left, so this is what it says in the article. It doesn't tell you how how much he beat the dude up. I don't know if that was even in his list of
No,
29
you
felonies.
know what? But it doesn't matter
It
because he's
doesn't
a dude,
matter.
right?
Right. So that was
You see
fine.
how quickly we show our true colors.
Yeah. So that was
He's not
fine.
the victim. We don't know his name. We don't know how badly he was beaten. We
But
don't care
right. So they
because
said,
we're appalled and disgusted at the fact that some giant Neanderthal beat the shit out of a woman. That's the truth of it.
that's the facts. Yeah, because the other dude should have been able to do more, or he should have been able to protect her. There's a lot of ways. He's just out of the room. There's like whatever happened with that guy. He left, and then the real crime took place. That's what happened.
Now, just
It's
to be
hardcore though.
clear, is this her home or is this his home?
Her home that he still had a key to after they broke up.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay. One,
yeah,
you didn't change the locks. That's pretty dumb.
yeah.
That's
And
pretty
he
dumb.
popped up on her with another dude. So it says after the guy left and called the cops, between the time he called the cops and the time the cops got there, she got 18 broken bones, a
Oh
broken
shit.
nose, 12 missing teeth, a fractured rib, and a ruptured liver.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's fucking horrible.
yeah. That's life. That's life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean,
That's
because
crazy.
you entered in, right? So there's probably some sort of breaking and entering. You had a key, but you weren't welcomed,
Right.
right? Wow. Yeah, that's horrific. I kind of almost feel bad for joking about it. I don't, but I kind of almost do after hearing the injury list. That's horrific.
Yeah, I know. I heard
And,
about it a while back, and
oof.
they took their pictures, of course, because she was a popular freaking adult film star,
And
so
she was
everybody was
defenseless.
outraged. Oh yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And female porn stars, they exude estrogen. Like they're the softest, most delicate, feminine. You know what I mean? Like they're hyper feminine. Like she was particularly defenseless. You know what I mean? I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, and he got dude, this kidnapping, battery, domestic violence. There's sexual assault charges in there.
A
There's
mess.
yeah, there's all kinds of substantial bodily harm, battery by strangulation, and attempted murder. So yeah, they lay all them charges down, and then they show the pictures of her in court. It's a wrap for you. It's a whole wrap. All they got to show is some footage of him fighting, and then a picture of what he did to her in court, and it's over for you, pal. That's how you get life with parole after
And,
36
and
years.
and when you Google her, it's so fucked up. Those are the first pictures that come up.
Right, because that was pretty much the end of it. That's the last
Oh,
anybody ever saw of her. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she didn't start doing. I don't think she started doing porn again after that. That would be kind of crazy, but that was it. That was the last hurrah for her image and her public image, which sucks because damn, bro.
yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, and but the whole point of this whole conversation was that's almost something that you have to expect with these type of dudes. Not all of them do shit to this extreme, but I guarantee you, probably about 80% of them terrorize people in their daily lives. Because that's just what I mean, what are you going to do with all that when you're not fighting? Maybe
I
somebody
think
like
some
Anderson
of them are,
Silva,
yeah,
who
just
like those peaceful warrior types and shit, people who got
yeah,
respect for the craft and all that. But a
for
lot of
sure.
these dudes are just brawlers who found a cool career choice. Not all of them
Right,
respect the science and all that other shit. They're just like, yo, I like fighting, so this
right,
was a good job choice.
right. And their character sucks, and they're not wielding that kind of machinery with any kind of righteous disposition or discipline.
Right, right. Because
Yeah,
they probably feel like that would work against you because that's not masculine. You just got to be a beast.
but even that, like, that's I don't know, man. That's the antithesis of being masculine, though. I mean, I guess I get what you're saying in that if you're revved up on that kind of energy, if you don't have the discipline necessary to wield it properly, this kind of thing can happen. But it's also kind of like Napoleonic. Like when you're a little yappy dog, you know what I'm saying? Like it would never be if you knew there was somebody that you could just beat the absolute shit out of, right? I feel like if you're confident in yourself, it's like I don't have to beat you up. I know that I can beat you up. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it's nothing to prove. But when you got like this little man complex or you're insecure, your pride is hurt so bad, like I gotta let you know that I can do this to you. You know what I mean? Like as if it wasn't already obvious. That cute little petite girl and you with your giant roid rage. You know what I'm saying? You have the clear advantage. Um, what are you? You know, how are you? You know, like that's just malicious. You know what I'm saying? If she disrespected you, you know what I mean? Like for you to actually inflict pain upon a person like that, I feel like there's just a whole bunch of psychological insecurities and
Oh
just all
yeah.
type of just like you're fucked up, you
Yeah.
know, and maybe being locked away for the rest of your life is the right move because when you were out, like whatever was bothering you, you weren't dealing with it if it manifested like that. Because, you know, obviously you cared enough about this person that you were hurt that she didn't want to be with you anymore. And that caused you to show up. But when you could do that kind of damage to the person, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got some screws loose, buddy. You got some screws loose, but that's also what helped him excel where he was and the place that he chose to
Right.
put himself. And which is crazy that that type of individual with that much clearly wrong with them can find a place where you're celebrated as, you
Mm.
know, oh, this guy's good. He might be the next superstar. You know what I'm saying?
Now, imagine the Lord of War intro, but with MMA fists.
Oh God.
So you just cheering it on. You're cheering it on.
And then
Everybody gets so much entertainment and enjoyment out of it. But you know
oh,
what you're really helping fuel? Contact.
right. Wow. That's another, yeah, that's a good POV to shoot right there. A little short film.
Just the fist, right? Just the locked in shot of the fist for the whole shot.
Oh man, and then the beat down because it's like that's what it is. It's gonna make you question your celebration of violence. You know, because when it's the high school fights and then the bar fights, you're gonna be with it, and then that transitions into the MMA fights, which makes you feel like it's a rags to riches story. You know, now you're really gonna be cheering for him because he made it out of the bar fights into professional fights, and then you got this one.
A
Wow.
sexy woman
Oh man.
who's willing to share the lusciousness of her form and work out all of her childhood trauma for
Right.
all of us to enjoy. And you took that away from all of us. You're a piece of shit.
And this is what you do with it. Wow. Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, if I was on that jury, I'd have gave him life too. And I don't know how I would have felt if he had done it to a dude. I don't know. I'd have just, like you said, I would have just been like, why couldn't that guy slip the jab? He
I
couldn't
don't
arm
know.
bar him or nothing,
Why don't you have a concealed carry permit?
right?
And if they don't offer on your in your state, why aren't you just riding dirty?
Yeah, for real, yo.
Especially if you knew she was dating that dude.
In your house too?
Like at that point, it's like, listen, we are always gonna meet at my house. We are, and matter of fact, I'm moving to a gated community.
Right. Yeah, because that was a high profile relationship. You know what I mean? So dude had to know if he knew who she was, he probably knew who her last boyfriend was. So he was slipping. He was out in the street all willy nilly at her house, just lounging. Like, nah, son, you don't ever do that. That was a bad idea. But and it's
Yeah,
crazy that he really left too. Cause I guess dude beat him up a little bit and then let him leave because he promised not to call the cops. But dude didn't like go to his car and, and get a baseball bat out of his trunk or nothing to come back. He just was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm all the way gone."
this is their problem. They need to work it out.
Yeah, I'm clearly not involved in this. He was gracious enough to let me go, so I don't want to betray our friendship.
This newfound friendship.
This guy trusts me. I told him I would leave, so I don't want to betray his trust.
What it
Yeah.
really would have made him even more fucked up if he didn't call the cops.
Right. Yeah, that might have
That'd
been
have
like
really.
maybe you might have had to give him a year or two probation or something. If
I
he
was
just
I
for
was
not calling the
merely
cops.
keeping my word.
Yeah, I had to keep my word, Your Honor.
I told him I wasn't going to call the cops, and I didn't. They clearly had some things they needed to work out.
And then you look at him sitting next to his lawyer like, I told you I wasn't calling cops, bro. I didn't call. I kept my word, bro.
If we're cellmates, remember that.
Yeah, if
I
anything
didn't call the
happens,
cops, B.
you got my back. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. But he probably did the best thing, because obviously, if he already kicked your ass once today,
There's nothing you could do. And going in with a weapon just means he's going to be able to disarm you and use it against you. That's why it's like, look, listen, if you don't have hand skills like that, that's what a gun is for. That's what a gun is for. You walk back in there, you point the pistol at him, you keep it on center mass, and you say, Christie, we're leaving. And that's it. And that's the end of it. And you back away slowly. And if he comes at you, you fill him up. That's all you can do.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you want to be in rescue mode. Honestly, I would say just
If you were in love, if you loved the girl, if
but
you
can you
didn't,
can you love a porn star?
I think you can. I think
Really?
porn stars are worthy of love. They got a lot of shit that they probably need. And I would say the majority of them. I think there's probably a few that just were business savvy and, like it and they're fine with it. But a lot of them they got uncle and stepdad stories and that's it. They're ruined.
And
And
crazy
nobody
ex-boyfriend stories,
yeah,
which he
yeah.
got firsthand.
Yep.
It
And
seems
no
like that would just be what the life like. This is just what happens when you dating in this realm.
But also too, once you're already in that mode, dudes that are predators, they know how to pick up on people that are vulnerable like that.
Right,
So
right.
all they end up getting in their lives are there's nobody that ends up getting in their life that isn't there to just use them or take advantage of them. So there's like a lot of psychological healing that would be necessary for them to be um healthier people that might have a different outlook on sex. But when you get to that level of calluses, and again, I'm sure there's some that are just wired to just love it, right? But I
Mm.
would I would venture to say that that's probably a very small majority of the ones that just have sex drives like dudes. They're fine with being exhibitionists. They like the money and they truly just love what they're doing. I would say that's maybe 2 to 5%. 95% is I got a bag of Coke. What can I get you to do on camera if I let you have this bag of Coke?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And that's the worst of the worst as far as environmental proximity. Those are not the people you want to spend a lot of time in their presence because that type of shit is just going to attract those type of situations.
Right?
That's just what's going to happen, bro. I feel like if you are a regular square dude and you're dating a porn star, it's only a matter of time before you get your ass kicked.
Right.
It's
There's
only a matter of
somebody
time.
crazy in the annals of her history that's going to show up,
Right.
and you
Right.
or at least have the prudence to be armed to the teeth when you go over there.
At
That's
least,
it.
bro. At least. Because that's what it is. You're going to be most likely represent some type of like clinging on to normalcy a little bit. Because in reality, Harley Quinn needs a Joker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As much as you try to save Harley Quinn, like, yeah, she might hang out with you for a weekend or something just to take a breather, but she's gonna have to get back to the Joker eventually. So
Right.
if you're standing in between that, it's only gonna be bad for you, buddy.
That's true. But I do, and maybe that could be my idyllic naivete. But I think and I would admit that it's probably a very, very small fraction, but I'm sure there is a sincere minority within that particular group that probably wants to get better, and there's probably some that do.
Right?
And
Yeah.
and they need some of that normalcy. So if that dude, really cared about that girl and liked her as a person and was kind of like on that path, right? Then, maybe you come back with the pistol. If you were just trying to get some ass, and it's like, holy shit, I'm about to fuck a porn star. Yeah, you're grateful you didn't die and you leave. And if you weren't a complete piece of shit,
You
you
call
keep
it
your word.
cops.
No, you keep your word and you don't call the cops. So now you're a coward and an oath breaker. Okay? You have no redemptive
so,
qualities.
so if you leave and call the cops, you're a coward and an oath breaker. So the
That's why
only
we don't
way,
care that you got beat up. That's why your
no,
name's not
true,
listed.
true,
There's no pictures of your ass whipping. Nobody
true.
cares.
Yeah, he's a coward and an oath breaker. The
It's,
only way you keep some integrity there is either you come back and try to refight, or you don't call the cops and you keep your word. But if you leave and call the cops, you have
listen,
no respect for nothing.
you keep your word and nobody's the wiser. They can't even place you at the scene. And it's like you were never there.
Wait,
And
okay,
it's
wait.
not your
So let
problem.
me just point this out real quick.
Uh-huh.
By
Uh-huh.
saying you were never there, you're implying that if he didn't call the cops, there wouldn't be any witnesses. That's what you're saying. It's like, who would have even known I'm here? Because you're assuming if he didn't call the cops, he would have beat her to death. Because she would have definitely been like, yeah, I was here with my boyfriend, and he kicked his ass and he left. You're like, wait, somebody was here and he kicked his ass and he left. You didn't call the police? Like, nah, I told him I wouldn't.
There's never a follow-up conversation.
That's a terrible story to have to tell right there. Nah, I
Yeah.
told him I wouldn't. So I just, and
There's
you
no
didn't want to be a
way.
coward and an oath breaker.
There's no way you come out of that. If you don't go back in there and pistol whip him or put three in his chest, you are not the hero of the story.
Yeah. You're a
This
side
this
character.
yeah.
You're a side character. She's the hero for surviving.
Yeah.
You're just a side character.
Cause think about that. Her little delicate brittle bird bones endured blows from a fucking professional MMA fighter. Her spleen, well, no, not her spleen, it
Ruptured
was her
liver.
liver.
Yeah.
Her liver was fucking ruptured.
12 missing teeth. Like, this is real shit.
That's like, what is that? That's like more than a third of all the teeth in your fucking mouth.
Wow. And the guy just left. He didn't even get beat bad enough to be incapacitated. He left on his own.
Right. He had the
This is
ability to
getting worse
talk
and
and make
worse for
complete
him. Yeah,
sentences.
he called the
He
police and
was able to
spoke.
describe the situation to the police. Right. Try to
He
do
had all
that
his
without 12 of your
faculties.
teeth.
He had all of his faculties. He wasn't. Oh man, what a guy.
Right.
Yeah,
So
he
by
he should. Yeah,
nature,
he should change his name.
yeah, you got to live in another country, bro.
Yeah,
People
you gotta
can't know
leave.
who you are.
You gotta leave.
He
Aren't you got
probably talked to the paper on the condition of anonymity.
right?
Like,
Aren't
listen,
you
I'm
the
going to
guy
tell
that
you.
left Christie Mack to die? Aren't you the guy that just left her for dead? Like,
Yeah.
wow, bro. I
There's
didn't even
no
think about that.
Yeah, there's no way you look righteous after that. Or there's no way to I don't know what there's no way to redeem yourself. You know what's really fucking lame? Let me tell you the awkwardness of the phone call. Hey Christy. It's me. It's
You
me,
okay?
Michael. I just checking in on you, making sure everything's okay. Things got pretty wild that night when I left and didn't call the police because I'm not an oath breaker. Yeah.
So anyway, if you're not doing nothing this Friday night,
Maybe want to see a movie?
oh, maybe Netflix and chill.
Maybe Netflix and chill at your place.
no, no, not at your place.
No,
We're
no,
not
we're
doing
gonna
that
we're
no more.
definitely
We're not doing that no more.
no, because now he knows the dude is locked up and he wants to kind of, spread out like he's reclaiming the territory.
Oh, that one. Why would you assume he was the only one though? I mean, you'd probably there's got to be at least one more. No, I'm not. You can't go back there ever.
Oh wow.
What a terrible guy.
I really appreciate you not judging me so harshly for fleeing in terror. I'm glad we could rekindle things and start fresh
Mhm.
now that your bones have healed.
So where were we? This is horrible. This is so terrible.
He shows up with some flowers and some ace bandages.
There's
And
some Boone's Farms. Have some wine coolers and shit.
no, yeah, not even. It's got to be one of those bottles of wines with no cork. It's just a screw off
It's
top.
just screw onto a box. He
Yeah.
had a box of wine.
No, better yet, he had the box, but he had nothing to bring it over, so he just poured it in a Ziploc bag. He just shows up with a Ziploc bag of wine. Where were we?
Yeah, because he didn't want to bring his whole box out of his fridge. So he just ran some in the Ziploc.
You know, I'm officially a police informant now. Did you know that? Yeah, big things.
Yeah,
Big
I've been working
things.
with the cops ever since. I think I might have found my calling inadvertently. Who to thunk?
So basically, I inject myself into dangerous situations. I get beat up and flee in cowardice, and then I tell the police that I've helped bring down numerous drug kingpins, child traffickers, tax evaders. Things
Yeah,
are
I've been
going
making a
great.
pretty good living. That is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That is amazing. What
He
an
shows up
evolution.
in a tuxedo. I mean, he just goes all out. He just
Nah, he shows up dressed like Magnum PI. Son's got a Hawaiian shirt on and some white shorts. With a Ziploc bag of wine.
Just not even trying. Just not even trying.
Yo, so where were we might be the most terrible statement that motherfucker could ever speak. Just to totally remind you of the last time we saw each other.
I think we were about to get physical.
Just about. Oh, what a sicko.
He yawns and stretches his arm around
Right?
her.
The
Just,
classic.
where
Oh
were we?
man, I need to know what this guy's doing with him now. I gotta figure it out. Is he on social media? Does he have a Twitter?
And they would both be pieces of shit for different reasons because they both feel entitled, right? Because he thinks that he owns her, right? He can just come over and do whatever the fuck he wants. You're my possession. No one else can have you. But then the other guy, if he showed up after the fact, like, listen, I am completely a coward that abandoned you, but I still think I should be entitled to access
Well,
now
look,
that everything is settled.
we're
Where were
even. We're even. Neither one of us could beat him. Neither one of us could beat him, so you can't really hold it against him. I mean, let's
Oh
keep it
shit.
real.
Yo, if they got in a fucking fight, right? They just got in a shouting match and they started throwing shit in their face. I didn't see you doing nothing when he was roughing me up, right? Like you didn't jump in and help
You didn't
Christie.
call the cops. What did you do?
I
The
at
whole
least
time
called
he
the
was
cops.
the whole time he was kicking my ass. You could have been calling the cops.
You were just weeping on the couch while I was getting my ass handed to me. But I'm the villain. Fuck off, Christie.
You know what? It's your fault anyway.
Right? He just
Start
flips it
talking
on her.
shit.
He just flips it on her. First of all, bitch, you ain't get the locks changed. Okay.
Right.
You fucked up.
Oh,
When I was getting my ass whooped, you didn't help me. You didn't I mean, you could have tried to put him in a headlock, gave me some time to escape. You ain't do shit. You just watched me get my ass whipped.
don't give me no attitude. I'm not the one who gave a psychopath the key to my apartment.
Right, right. And then I'd love if you threw it in the face like that. Like, listen, we both got our asses handed. We're even. I got fucked up. You got fucked up. What, you gonna be mad at me because my body took the punches a little bit better than yours? I got a little bit more coating around my liver, so I'm fucked up.
You know how hard this asshole hits.
You know, Christy, you know.
Oh, and talking to a person with that lifestyle, he could probably eventually turn it around on her and still get
Absolutely.
access. It's
Absolutely.
if he's slick enough, he could turn it around on her and still get access. That's all. This is so
By the
terrible,
end
bro.
of it, she would apologize.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm sorry, Michael. You're
Change
right.
hashtag change my mind.
Change-
Hashtag change my mind. If you don't think he could have talked her into it, then change my mind.
That's
But
horrible.
I feel like it will work.
Because we need to drop a couple disavows. We need to drop
Oh,
like
we didn't
5 or 6
disavow none of
of
that, did we?
those.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh
we just
man.
hitting people is wrong, especially if they're much weaker than you.
Right.
And nobody owns another person so that you think that you can have access to them regardless. People are autonomous beings. They have the ability to make their own choices.
Right. Sex workers deserve respect. They don't deserve
Absolutely.
to be abused. All that goes. I mean, this is all should be a given, but just so everybody knows, there's no confusion. Christy Mack was the victim, and so
Yes.
was her boyfriend. They were
We
both
had a lot
victims.
of laughter at hypotheticals. Okay. It was the absurdity of what could have happened. We weren't laughing at what really happened. What really
Right.
happened was horrible.
Right. That's terrible. And he
God,
deserved life. He
absolutely.
deserved whatever he got. So good, man. But that was funny though. That was
Dude,
extremely funny.
I'm seeing this extravagant apartment in my head and just seeing this dude show up in a Hawaiian shirt. Just just ready to rekindle. I heard War Machine's locked up, so I think we got about 39 years, right?
Yeah, that's what he says as soon as he
Yeah.
walks in. He's like, as soon as he puts the wine bag on the table and he like flops down on the couch and he's like, so 36 years, huh?
So I think we got the next 36 years to ourselves, don't we, Christy?
Oh man. Just oh dude, it's this needs to be made into a short film. And I know it's I know how problematic it is. It's
Oh,
horrible, but it
a
needs to be a short
lifetime
film.
movie. It needs to have the lifetime movie kind of like cadence and like acting tempo. You know what I mean? Like that kind of flavor. It needs to be a lifetime movie with the dramatic music and everything. And it's the Christy Mack story. And this dude comes in and changes her life. He comes back for her, and he's the hero of the movie.
Oh man. Yeah, he's the real good guy
Right? He's the
because
sweet guy.
right,
Yeah.
right. The other her choices, her previous choices and partners is the bad guy of the movie.
Right.
All
Mhm.
of her previous like this is actually I'm actually the only good thing here. You and all of the situations you've installed in your atmosphere are the bad part. I'm the good part. Because
Yep.
not only was I your connection to normalcy before the beating, but after the beating, I came back bearing gifts and I still accept you and I still allow you to spend time with me. I don't hold the ass whooping I took against you. So, I've forgiven you for getting me beat up.
He shows up and he puts his hand under her chin and kind of lifts her face up and says,
I
Christy,
forgive you.
I want you to know I forgive you.
Oh man.
Oh
This
yeah.
one would this is a viral Lifetime movie. You know what we could do? We can make this trailer and put a Lifetime logo on it and put it on YouTube and wait for it to go viral and Lifetime stock drops and then we'll buy the dip.
Oh, dude. That should be what Lunatic Stop Tips is based on.
Right.
It's really just a huge hustle of putting out horrific trolls that tank the stock price of companies so we could go in and buy it up for cheap.
Right. It teaches people how to tank stock prices to buy the dip. This is how this lunatic stock tips. This is what we do. Figure out just fantastical scenarios where you can make a company stock price drop just for you to buy the dip. You and your family and your closest friends can all buy the dip. And we
Oh,
just pick a business every week. We pick a business and we come up with a cockamamie harebrained scheme to tank the stock price, starting with Lifetime.
oh shit. All right, so what did you guys like analyze the financials? Like what's the catalyst for like the price target? No. You're watching the wrong kind of show. We don't fuck around with crazy things like graphs and boring ass financial data. We come up with harebrained schemes to tank stock prices and get a good deal. We come in and we buy it up for cheap.
Oh, how did you guys pull off that Lifetime dip? It was Loving Christy Mack round two.
Oh, no, you call it fighting for love.
Fighting for Love, the Christy Mack story.
Not without my liver. The
Oh
Christie Mack
my,
story.
this
Oh,
shit is so not good.
horrible.
It's so
It's
horrible.
the vow.
But
It's the
but
vow.
but lunatics. That's a great premise for lunatic stock tips, though.
That is great, dude.
It is. It is. We could pick a company and just
This is
figure out something. It'll work. It'll
this is what we're
eventually one of them will work.
this is what we're doing to generate bad press, to tank the stock price and get a good deal.
And just wait for all those other news sites to pick it up. The ones that don't do no research, they just read the headline and
All
they
the
be like,
news.
"What? Lifetime made a movie about Christie Mack,
Dude,
and
they
it's
thought,
problematic."
dude, did you not see that people were truly up in arms about the Mario Lopez KFC story?
Oh, the Colonel.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't a real movie, right? That was just like it was a troll, like some online. Or did they really make a movie?
I don't know if they really made the movie because I don't watch Lifetime, but my understanding was it was a joke Lifetime movie. So I don't know if it was really a Lifetime movie that they made as a joke or it was a KFC commercial joking, that was the story of the Colonel.
Right.
But either way, of course it wasn't real. But I saw people talking shit about, Colonel Sanders was white and they shouldn't have a Hispanic guy playing him. Like people
Oh,
got
come on.
really into dumb shit and offended by, and people were up in arms about what was clearly a parody or a joke. It was the most fucking hilarious thing ever. He's like a
Absolutely.
sexy pool boy. That's
But I
how
didn't even
KFC
think they
got
made the
started.
real movie. That's why I said I saw the trailer, but by the looks of it, I thought it was just a joke. I didn't even think they actually went about really shooting the footage and making it. But I guess it's a 15-minute mini movie.
It's
That's what it was. So it's a troll. I mean, nobody who took that seriously.
a lot of people.
You got to be wired wrong.
Dude, I actually heard people come out and recall the factual mythology of Colonel Sanders and
Mm.
why this was so disrespectful to relegate him to a sexy pool boy.
Wow.
Like, he worked really hard and he got that recipe and did it. I'm like, yo,
Who did he get that recipe from?
it depending on certain circles, it was stolen.
Oh, I mean, of course it was. Of course it was. You mean to tell me somebody from that era of his demographic was frying their own chicken?
You mean ex-military men making their own fried chicken in the
No,
South?
I mean, yeah, right. Well, yeah,
Possible.
probably not. He was
Possible.
eating MREs. He definitely wasn't frying his own chicken. He definitely wasn't frying his own chicken. Herbs
That'd
and
be
what is it? 17 herbs and spices. You mean somebody of his demographic in his time range knew about 17 different herbs and spices?
what are you implying?
I'm just saying.
You're
It's- it-
saying are you saying you don't support the troops? You don't think an ex-soldier could figure out a recipe on his own? It's kind of
Wait,
hateful.
listen, I'm just saying. It seems much more likely that in such a patriarchally divided society, a guy who was frying his own chicken back then either didn't look like him or had a different type of persuasion.
Now, if I were to say something like I'm almost absolutely certain that he stole the recipe from a black woman, isn't that racist?
Not considering everything that was happening at the time,
Oh
I
no.
think it would be kind of in line with the facts.
This sounds like a racist math word problem.
Well, if it has math in it, then it's already racist. So saying
If
saying racist math is redundant.
if you suspect, I mean, let's analyze all the figures. You're accusing a white man of stealing black genius. So that's 1 point in the woke column. Okay, acceptable. But you're also assuming that if it's fried chicken, it had to be a black woman that was doing it. So now you're implying one, the women are cooking, and that a black woman would have been specifically cooking for him, a decorated colonel in the Southern Army. So uh, that probably goes in the racist patriarchal
Well,
category.
if it was Colonel Sanders lemonade or iced tea, then maybe I would think he stole a recipe from a white woman.
Mm.
That
If
would
it,
be that would be more in line, like with who would be more masterful with that particular thing. If
mm.
it was, yeah, I feel like it's a safe bet.
I feel like you're implying that black people can't make lemonade.
They can't. They can't.
When you say it with such confidence, I don't know. I just feel like I trust you, and
Hey,
I feel like
listen,
that makes sense.
you double check this one with me. If you want to double check with some other black folks, just ask them. When's the last time, not bought? When's the last time you know somebody black who made lemonade? Just ask them that. Ask a black
Gather the
person.
lemons, put in the
Right.
sugar.
All that. Squeeze them
Good point.
yourself. Yeah, ask one.
Country time racist lemonade.
All right, that lemon juice that's in black folks' house is to go inside the Kool Aid.
Mm.
That's just to spice up the Kool Aid.
Giving some nutritional content.
Right, at least there's some vitamin C in there
Let's
now.
get
With
some citrus.
mix some citrus with the red.
It's not just all diabetes. Let's put some vitamin C in there.
Yeah, this is going bad, bro.
Yeah, there's. I don't think that there's any way you can look at that situation and really speculate it or research it in any kind of sincere way without being accused of something.
Right.
Because it was always kind of weird to me that that dude was the face of like fried chicken in America.
Right.
Like it was his idea.
Doesn't make sense.
Cause there was no, I mean, there's no other fried chicken chain you could think of, but everything kind of came after KFC. Nothing was as popularized. I mean, I
Right.
don't know when Churches or Popeyes came out or whatever, but I don't think they were never as popular as KFC.
No.
As far as like brand identity, you
Yeah,
know,
and mainstream accessibility too. Because
right,
to this day, church, you know what churches and Popeyes is.
right.
We don't even have to say
Nope, I'm not gonna
it.
stay away from that.
Yeah, I mean, we know what churches and Popeyes is. So as far as that goes, as far as the full accessibility of it, KFC was definitely the number one franchise, and it's represented by that person from that era. I mean, come on, I think we're supposed to assume that he stole the recipe.
I think so.
What else can you gather from that?
He's a
It's the
colonel. He
colonel,
would
bro.
he
He's a
wouldn't sully
colonel.
his hands making it
Fried chicken?
himself. He's
Come
just
on,
he's
man.
delegating. He's just delegating and taking credit for it.
He's an antebellum colonel. You think he fried chicken? You
This little
really think he?
bolo tie or whatever the fuck it is.
Come on, man. I no, no. That was never even a part of the marketing. That was never even a part of the marketing, bro. It was just like he just has the fried chicken. He just he's not the supplier.
And he looks so happy that he stole it. Like you look at his little icon on the bucket. He's thrilled. He couldn't be happier.
Oh yeah, he knows what he did.
He getting paid for all this stolen chicken.
Yeah, he know what he did, bro, and he's proud of it.
It's just like, look, everybody knows I'm full of shit. I'm gonna put my face on the bucket and tell people it was completely my idea.
Right.
All
So
right, then.
and then you look at churches and Popeyes. Those are probably the secondary ones because those are the people who made the chicken and they're the ones who launched the business.
Right, and will never get credit, and arguably make better tasting chicken than KFC.
I wouldn't know because I refuse to shop at either one of them. I think it's blasphemous to buy KFC, churches, or Popeyes in present day America.
Blasphemous?
Blasphemous, bro.
Wow, that's strong
Well,
language.
for specific demographics. Anybody else who wants fried chicken, fine. You go do what you got to do. But anybody black who's buying fried chicken from churches, Popeyes, or KFC, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Ooh,
You should be,
that's rough.
and I don't disavow it. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Wow, this is controversial, bro.
Right. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But it's like, I mean, it's commercial fried chicken, bro. I mean, Let's keep it real. If you're gonna eat commercial fried chicken, just go to Chick-fil-A.
So Chick-fil-A is the only acceptable non-racist fried chicken option in modern
Yes.
America.
Yep. Because they're neutral. Chick-fil-A is neutral.
Oh, okay. They're
Churches and
truly
Popeyes,
just selling chicken.
they're just selling
They're
chicken.
not they're not selling a racial experience
Right.
associated with the chicken.
Right. They're selling customer service. They're selling closed on Sunday. They're
Gotcha.
selling. That's what they're selling. Churches and Popeyes are selling Negro.
And KFC is
They're
selling white
selling.
supremacy. We
Right.
stole it, we got away with it, and we're taking credit for it.
Exactly.
Come and get this
Exactly.
chicken.
So that the only respectable fried chicken for you to eat commercially is Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
Easy.
I can't argue with you. Cause every time I try to cling to something that's like, come on, man, people just want to eat fried chicken. Fried chicken is delicious. It's not good for you, but it's delicious. Let's not lie to each other. I think of all the commercials I've seen for churches and for Popeyes over the years, and I can't defend it. I
Right.
can't.
See that dude that was singing with the bucket of chicken?
Oh,
You remember that dude? Baby, I got Popeye. You should have been drop squatted for that.
yeah.
Drop squad should have paid you a visit after that commercial, bro.
Yeah.
You
It's
singing with a bucket of fried chicken in your hands right now.
it's uncomfortably extra black, and I wonder who came up with it though.
He did.
Right, it's got to be right. There's no way that any Jewish
Nope.
advertising writers are
Nope.
like, this is what you guys, because I would imagine everybody in that writers room would be terrified to even suggest it. Like, this is
Right.
how we sell the brand.
No, it was the guy. He was sitting in his house with Popeye's chicken and he was soft shoeing and he recorded himself.
Ah.
That's exactly what it was. And he sent it to him and they were like, I would have never had the guts to come up with something like this, but he sent it to us. And we could probably use it for free, but you know what? Let's give him a check, have him re-record it with a more expensive camera, and yeah, we can use this. They'll love it. Yeah. And I don't even know what churches is doing. I don't even know what they're doing. They just hanging on by some kind of thread. They're just hustling fried chicken out the back door at this point. I mean, what's even happening at churches?
Wasn't Esther Roll like the spokesperson for a
You
while?
see? You see what I'm saying? You see?
Yeah.
See?
What?
You see? This is
I
what they're selling. This is what they're selling Negro, bro.
Yeah, like I said, I went through my catalog and my memory banks of all the commercials I've seen over the years, and I couldn't find anything that I could defend. But at the same time, if you like the product, because how frivolous and stupid branding is, where you could make a useless product, but because you brand it in a clever way, people will feel that they gotta have it, and you're selling them nothing. But just because you might irresponsibly um, market a particular product in a cultural context that's riddled with minefields, right? Um, I don't know that it's right to deny the person access to the product itself with any kind of moral pressures. Even though I totally get what you're saying, I know there's somebody who doesn't give a fuck how it's advertised. They're just like, yo, this sandwich is delicious. I love this chicken sandwich. It's
Yeah.
fucking great. And for $2.99, I got 2 pieces of chicken and a biscuit. I'm good. I'm good. I don't
It's
give a
just
fuck about all the other
it's
shit.
the audacity of the marketing. Like it's very purposeful when they decide, who they're gonna target. You know what I'm saying? So if they can't just sell the food, if you gotta attach some type of demographic to it, it makes it less trustworthy for me. Because why is this the only people you want to buy your chicken? Do you specifically like when did that come into play and why is that important?
Yeah. And I don't know, man. The only thing I've done is I've tried to get people out of this race shit by just referring to people as like soup broth. Different colors of soup broth.
like beef broth and
Like
vegetable broth.
I refuse to acknowledge race anymore. Well, what did he look like? He was cream of mushroom complexioned. He had. What do you mean white? No, white. What is no?
What?
If he's cream of mushroom complected, he was. I think the other guy might have been minestrone. I don't know. I
Minestrone.
just
His
chicken
foods.
broth for Asian to get people out of it. Like stop thinking in all these made up terms. Just everybody's a human being, and chances are they resemble some variant of soup broth.
Yeah, it
Let's
was
just do that.
like gravy. Like was it
Gravy,
like was it like beef gravy or a sausage gravy?
sausage gravy. Be specific.
Which one was it? You got to let me know. We got to find this guy.
Or Sunday flavors. You know,
There you go. Well, now I don't know
Sunday.
if I want to be referring to. Yeah, not if it's a dude.
What?
Not if it's a dude. You can't be using food items like, especially desserts.
He was chocolatey. He was a little
No,
caramel.
you can't do that. Can't do no.
Okay.
That's not
I
gonna work.
but I don't know. I want to keep incorporating pink into everything. Pink is my favorite racial descriptor.
Pink.
Pink
That's
is
that
great.
sounds derogatory, even though it's just the color. It sounds
No,
derogatory.
I think it is. I think when certain groups of people refer to other groups of people as pinks, I think it's meant to be derogatory. But I'll never forget the time in middle school when it was pointed out to me that white people are actually pink people. I'm like, you know
Right,
what? You're absolutely right.
right.
We are pink.
And how I remember it was probably around the same time when I heard the whole scenario of how the white person is green when they're sick and red when they're angry
Oh
and
yeah.
like blue when they're cold and like all this other shit. He says that you have the nerve to label other people as colored. I was like, that's interesting. You're pink when you're born, you're blue when you get cold. Yeah, that's some deep Hebrew Israelite, that's some on the corner Nuwavian speech kind of vibe right there. The pink man, the Yakubian pink man. We got,
Translucent was good too.
oh
Translucent
yeah,
is
that's
very
good.
appropriate.
That's mean. That's mean, but it's
Yeah.
funny. We got one of these days we're gonna break down the whole story of Yakub because we mentioned Yakub a lot of times, and Yakubian humor is fine. It has a home on this podcast, so we're gonna have
Does it ever?
yeah, we gotta one day we're gonna have to break down just for posterity the whole story of Yakub and his genetic exploits as told by Dr. York and a lot of other people.
It's a
Doctor,
fantastic story.
it really is. It's a tour de force.
How
I think what
many
they
how
call it.
many millions or billions of years do we have to go back though to get to that? It's like some ridiculous number.
Yeah, I think it might be around a trillion or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not
You
that long in the grand scheme of things, but
no, but you're getting into Scientology and Big Bang numbers. Like we're
right.
talking about the amounts of time you can't really fathom. You can say them, but you can't really fathom what that looks like.
Yeah. Maybe on one of the next shows, I'm gonna get some notes together. That might be one of those live stream joints where we can screen share and show some YouTube videos or something. But
Oh,
it's
yes.
it's a fascinating adventure. And I think the people who listen to us deserve to know where all the pillars of our sense of humor is touching on, so they won't be confused when we use some of these terminologies. And if we're gonna start really fleshing out the world like that, Yakub has to be stop one because he's
Delicious.
yeah, that's an excellent story for anybody who wants to know why the world is in the current state that it's in today. You'll never really know what's going on or understand fully until you know who Yakub is. So
Yeah.
definitely stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, it'll be good to get into that origin story. I like it.
The origin story.
I
I
like
love
it.
I love it. This is foundational information. This is genetics and science and all of that.
And
You're not going to
mythology
want to miss this one.
all wrapped together in
I
a
love it.
yeah, in an epic narrative.
It is. It deserves a retelling. It deserves a 2021 retelling, stylized, only the dangerous
Oh,
gentleman could do. You know what I'm saying? It's
dude.
yeah,
And if we're gonna do Blaxploitation Bible, we gotta have like a lily white Mormon retelling of the story of Yakub.
right. Yes, yes. I think yeah. We need somebody with just
Just with all the sanctimony and white robes and delicate white women humming in the background. Just just something that makes you definitely feel like, yo, I wandered into a Mormon cult and I don't know what story they're acting out right now, but I'm intrigued.
I would have to find me an old white dude on Fiverr and see if I could get him to read the script of this shit out. Write the script for the Yakub story and get him to read it. Yeah, we can give him some background music.
That'd be great. I wanted to make it extra offensive. Since we're using all lily white Mormon people, are we gonna put them in blackface when we have black characters?
No, we can't do that.
I mean, how
Well,
horribly offensive can we make it? Are we just doing Hamilton where you know the person's something different, but you're just gonna use that character regardless?
right. Yeah, he'll just be the narrator. He'll just be the narrator. We'll get all kinds
Oh,
of people to
okay.
act it out, but the white guy, we just need that Quaker voice to be the narrator.
Okay.
The narration of the Yakub story. Yeah, I can hear his voice already. It's
Oh,
perfect, dude. Perfect. I love it. We got some work to do.
the
We
re
got
the the retelling of the Yakubian tradition by Walter Brimley or Wilford Brimley. What's to do? It's the
Wilford
right thing to
Brimley. Yeah,
do.
Wilford Brimley. Oh man,
Approximately 300 million years ago, in a fiery volcano,
there was a scientist.
there was a scientist named Yakub, a wicked scientist.
Oh, dude. Quaker reads Quaker reads the Yakub story and the Blaxploitation Bible on Broadway. Holy shit. Oh, and and loving Christie Mack round two.
Oh,
Oh, this shit's a gold mine.
oh man,
It's a gold mine, bro.
I don't know how we don't end up getting murdered. It's just
Because we're not talking about Islam.
you can literally piss off everybody. I don't think there would be any group that wouldn't be up in arms.
Hey, listen, that leads to big revenue these days.
Oh,
If you deem yourself uncancelable and everything is parody for the sake of awareness, check my Woke facts. I mean, I'm in compliance. I got great numbers on Woke facts. So
I'm putting up great numbers.
yeah, I'm
Great
good.
numbers, son.
I'm good. And actually, the false accusation that you just lobbied against me dropped your score about 20 points.
Did I hurl falsehoods?
No, I mean that's what I would tell the person who was
Oh, okay, okay.
outraged at what we were doing. That's what I would tell. Your false allegations actually just dropped your Woke facts points. So you got to be careful.
The retelling of the Yakubian lore by Wilford Brimley, as read by Wilford Brimley.
Oh, this is like a 14-part YouTube series, bro. We can stretch this one out long.
And you know what else you could do? When you got Howard Zinn's The People's History of the United States on DVD or book to tape or whatever, I think they had a couple chapters where Matt Damon narrated. He was like the celebrity narrator.
Right.
Like it would be great because you know none of these people would agree to do it. But if you retold the story but sold it as like celebrity guests and every guest read a chapter, like you got George Clooney,
Oh,
Wilford Brimley, you've got people who would never be involved in
James
promoting the
Spader.
Nation of Islam.
James Spader. Gotta get James Spader on the chapter.
Jeremy Irons, just get them all,
Everybody, bro.
and they each get a chapter. Then and today's and you make it like a mini series kind of deal, It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
today's chapter will be read by guest narrator Jeremy Irons.
yeah. And then the characters would have to be read too. Like instead of just having him read the quotes for Yakub, we have people playing all the different characters.
Oh shit, that's great.
Yeah,
Putting
dude.
John Malkovich in there,
Yep.
just people you would never associate with the Nation of Islam mythology. That would be a fucking awesome.
It really would be. That shit would get a billion views.
That's a great and you even put it out there as like as read by all of these people's names.
Right.
Like you're gonna get hits just because of that. Like I didn't know. I didn't know Brad Pitt was down with the nation.
He's reading the Yakub. He's chapter 11, Brad Pitt. Look.
He's narrating. He's
Oh,
narrating chapter 11 of the great epic.
chapter 11, Yakub begins his experiments. Chapter 12, the 6,000-year gradient. Oh my gosh, dude. It's too good. It writes itself.
The abomination was perpetually set on devilishness. They began to inhabit the caves of northern Europe, hell bent on destruction.
Oh man. I don't think we even have to disavow this one.
Why?
It's too good. Yeah, I mean the story's already out there. I didn't write it. I'm just thinking about a new way to retell it so we can get more people into the conversation.
Oh, dude. And listen, we package it all under the banner of bringing people together. We're retelling other people's stories and repackaging it into different cultures as a means of outreach. As
Beautiful.
a means of outreach to
That's
bring,
exactly what
yeah,
it is.
can't fight it. You
Media
know,
media-based outreach. Yeah. We're going to
listen,
tell you some of our cultural stories and help you understand us a little bit more.
Sharon was never going to read How to Eat to Live. Never.
Right. Right.
But she heard John Malkovich narrate the Epic of Yakub, and she
The
became a
final
little.
chapter, Birth of an Abomination,
She
changed my
she
life.
she became a little bit more open.
Wow.
Maybe I will read Message to the Black Man. Maybe
Maybe now, at least on the audio book by Benedict Cumberbatch.
she was she wasn't gonna get a copy of the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. She had no interest.
Hey, what do you listen to? Oh, I'm listening to Seth Rogen read The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
This part's pretty crazy, guys. So then,
Yo, white celebrities reading black media. Hey, listen, listen. I'm gonna contact Audible and see if I can pitch them. See if I can pitch it to Audible. Because they're not thinking. They're thinking black narrators for the black books, but that's for black folks. But you should get a choice.
outreach.
Some people might want to hear Seth Rogen read The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Listen, I want I want to hear I want to hear them fight over who's gonna cut the baby in half with a funky ass bass in the background. I want to hear that story.
Right, right. That deserves to be made.
I just
That
want to
deserves to
hear
be
like
made.
the dissonance of the horns in the background to make you feel uncomfortable as they're trying to make the decision. Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah.
dude, I would love to hear uh, James Spader read Iceberg Slim. I want to hear him read Trick Baby. James Spader reads Trick Baby by Iceberg Slim. Tell me that would be fire.
Oh,
That
that's
would be
great.
fire, bro.
That's
I love
great.
it. It really is. It really is. I'm not gonna forget this one. I'm writing this. I'm writing this stuff down.
The only way, dude, it's how it's either what's gonna get you your first million or what's gonna fund your next 5 million. Which whatever however it lands in whatever sequence of events. Yes, the only thing is, it's almost an absolute certainty that will have to find people that do great impressions because the actual people will never agree to it.
I don't know. I feel like if I bought a copy of Trick Baby and mailed it to James Spader with a handwritten letter and convinced him to come on our YouTube page and read the book, I feel like it might happen. I feel like it's a possibility. You never know, bro. Hollywood shut down.
That's true.
Hollywood is
If,
shut down, bro.
if nothing else, we get a voice, an impersonator that can do get the cadence down, get all the inflections and mannerisms right. You know, oh, dude, Christopher Walken. He's got to be
Oh,
the opening chapter, dude.
oh man.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
in triple stage darkness.
I would listen if there was a video right now on YouTube of Christopher Walken explaining what triple darkness is. I would watch that right now. Right now, bro. I'd watch it.
Oh,
That deserves a million views by itself. Just that part.
oh,
This is good. This is good. This one feels special.
it does.
I
It
feel like
does.
something might come out of this.
It
We
does.
might
We
be able to
hear
woke them into actually doing it. We just
Meryl
woke
Streep.
that.
Meryl Streep talking about 9 ether hair. It's just great.
There's so much, and it would just be all amplified so far just by the people we choose to read it. That would amplify it all so much. Oh my god, it has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen. It's
Just
going to be
add
funded by the cult. I'm going to make a GoFundMe and see if we can get celebrity impersonators to read, and it'll get popular enough to where the real celebrities will want in on it.
they'll have to.
They'll have to want in on
We'll
it. They
get
don't-
letters from their lawyers demanding that they be allowed to be the actual narrators.
Right, right. Yeah, we got to get to work.
And we'll say not a problem. We're happy to comply. It would be lovely if you could make a donation.
Right.
We'd
We
be
got this
happy to have
charity. We got this nonprofit set up. We're gonna need you to holler at the nonprofit, and we'll put you on the list. We'll get you in there. We'll get you in there. I'm sure you received our copy of Trick Baby. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's going down. So we got. I think we got 3 or 4 great intellectual properties today.
Yeah, dude. And I want to see that triple XFL, that new football league. Let's not forget about that.
Triple
I'm just-
XML.
I'm gonna start designing those strappy uniforms.
Oh yeah, there's
I'm
gonna be a
ready.
lot of triggering. This episode needs a trigger.
Yeah, we need to have-
Several trigger warnings.
yeah, there's got to be something at the beginning. I think we pretty much trounced upon every possible sensitivity there could be.
Right. And that takes skill. That
Yeah,
takes skill to do it without even trying.
we ran the gambit of race, religion, violence against women, gender equality, and struggling with homoerotic sensations that you get while watching football.
Right. Right. If you want to get to know what we do and who we are, you start with this episode and work your way backwards. This is what should give you. It's like starting at Blackploitation with Dolomite.
Right.
You start here, and then you'll kind of understand the
Everything
whole
else.
atmosphere. Beautiful.
Yeah, because racial mania after this doesn't
Oh.
seem as bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Racial mania
could-
that's kid gloves.
It could be shocking out of the gate.
Yeah.
But once you sat through Wilford Brimley reads the Yakubian epic, you can
The
you can-
Epic of Yakub.
you can deal with racial mania a little better. Racial
Right, yeah.
reparative therapy just makes sense.
It doesn't seem so absurd after this.
It becomes a pragmatic option.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So I think we've done our job for tonight. We've
Yeah, well
created
done.
some millionaire intellectual properties. All we got to do is develop them and sell them off to the highest bidder.
Yeah, it's I'm impressed.
Yeah, it takes a lot to outdo some of the shit we be talking, but this is a new high. or new low, depending on which side of the which side of the spectrum you land on. This is a new high.
Um, yeah, I
Excellent.
can't. I'm just gonna hang up. I'm just gonna tell you, well done,
Right.
and peace and blessings and good things, and we'll talk soon. And I'm just gonna hang up.
Absolutely. Enjoy your night.
You too.